We're going to talk about the winners and the losers from this chaotic NBA trade deadline. Was this the craziest week in NBA history?
Ron, think about this for a second. Think about this for a second, Ron. I think the trade deadline might have. You know what's going on Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Because I think people forgot. Off the strength of what's going on this week, I haven't heard people talk nearly as much about what's going on Sunday than what's been going on this week. So for the first time, I think the NBA might have upstaged the NFL for the first time, considering what went on this week.
Swipe it casual. Y'all agree with that?
I want to say I agree, but it's hard. The Super Bowl's in a tough spot because they got 2 weeks off. So, like, how many days can you truly talk about Mahomes and Jalen Hurts' legacy? The NBA just had a moment, and I love it because it's my favorite sport. So, shout out to Adam Silver.
Yeah, I mean, it's social media. So, like, the NBA, I think it's just easier to create content on social media. Like, by the time you get to Sunday, though, like, they're going to put numbers up the NBA wishes that it could have. I mean, the NBA final, I'm sure the Super Bowl is going to be times 20, legitimately times 10, if not more, whatever the NBA Finals is this year. I mean, the Super Bowl is the #1 ritual in the world. It is the most watched ritual in the world every single year. So yeah, it has Monday to Saturday for sure. Luka getting traded by Nico Harrison, I think, shook everybody up. You know, where Jimmy Butler wasn't even news anymore. So yeah,
or De'Aaron Fox wasn't even news anymore. That's news. If that trade doesn't happen, we talking about De'Aaron Fox going to San Antonio with Wemby. We have discussed that very little. We have not talked about that.
It happened. It's funny because it happened the very next day after the Luka trade. But you go on First Take, you go on Twitter, not a soul is talking about De'Aaron Fox. It was 7 days in a row of Luka.
No, and by the way, chat, I'm not talking in America. Super Bowl's the most watched single day ritual in the world.
Globally, 100%. Mm-hmm. Yes, globally.
Yeah, well, shout out to this trade deadline. I want to say I know it was a record, and I want to say it was 68 trades. If I'm not mistaken, 68 trades, a record-breaking deadline. And y'all,
just 4 teams didn't do trades at all.
It was only four teams that didn't participate.
Yep, only 4.
What 4 teams are those?
I wonder
the Wolves, the Blazers,
Minnesota, Portland.
Yes, the Wolves, the Blazers,
Orlando. I don't think they did anything.
Who?
Orlando. I don't think Orlando did anything.
Yeah, maybe Newell's, Blazers, Orlando, and then the Suckets. Oh, sorry, the Nuggets. My bad.
Did the Knicks do anything?
Yeah, they traded
Jericho Sims, I think.
Sims. Okay,
yeah,
that's right. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They traded Sims.
It was a lot of little sneaky moves that don't jump like register with you, but teams was wheeling and dealing. They was making moves. And so, fellas, what we gonna do? Well, first off, what I want to start by doing is I want to ask you guys. Well, the Pacers dealt James Wiseman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right.
But that was another one of those little moves. But I want to ask you guys, who is your biggest winner and loser of the trade deadline? You can talk about Luka, but let's try to get a little more creative. Now, I understand if you just absolutely have to say Luka is for sure that Lakers trade is the biggest winner. I think we all kind of know that, but try to get a little creative. Mars, I'm gonna start with you, my man. Biggest winner and loser.
So the second biggest winner, I guess.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Want us to come back to you, Mars?
Sure, come back to
Mars is like me in class yesterday. Teacher called on me. I had no idea what to say.
I mean, Ron told me I can't pick the correct answer. Like, I don't know what I'm meant to do.
No. We just got to be a little bit more creative.
Yeah, 2 + 2 is 4. Oh, what's 2 + 2? You can't say 4. Like, what do you want me to do? Like,
no, you can pick. You can pick 4. For example, Ron, I got 3 of them. I got the obvious, which is both the Lakers and the Mavs. I think Milwaukee came up with Kuzma. I do. I think Kuzma's going to really help them. I do. I think Kuzma.
My biggest losers. So, okay.
I think Kuzma's going to really help them because, like we talked about yesterday, Washington, Not necessarily
even though he's just a worse overall player than Middleton this year at everything.
And you understand why he's a worse overall player than Middleton this year at everything?
Middleton with 2 bum ankles.
Do you understand why he's a worse overall player than Middleton?
I don't know. Jordan Poole's been all right. So I don't know.
Are you going to blame?
No. Swapper, it's because they game plan for Kuzma.
Not Jordan.
Well, not only that. Not only that. But when you play on a bad team, Mars and I just had this conversation. When you play on a bad team, the stuff that you can't do gets magnified. When you play on a good team, the stuff that you're good at gets magnified. They didn't do that with Kuzma. Kuzma being in Washington, Kuzma is not a good one-on-one player. Guess what they have Kuzma doing when he was in Washington? They had him in ISOs playing one-on-one. Awful. Kuzma playing defense. They can't do. I think that they'll do a better job at that when he's in Milwaukee. Kuzma is a great transition player. He wasn't doing that when he was in Washington. I think Kuzma is a great transition player, 100%. When better he was in Washington.
I'm just asking, Chill. What do you think?
I'm sorry. To answer your question, Swiper, no, I don't think he's a better transition player than Kevin Durant. I don't think he's a better transition player than Pascal Siakam. I don't think he's a better transition player than Giannis Antetokounmpo. I don't think he's a better transition player than LeBron James.
Is he a better transition player than Christian Brown?
Christian Brown. Yes, I do think he's a better transition player than Christian Brown. Yes, I do think that.
The number one transition player in the NBA this year?
And you know why he's such a good transition player?
Because you got Jokic.
Not just that, but he's also a certified better athlete than Kyle Kuzma as well, and better finisher.
That's true.
I think he's a better athlete than him. I won't argue. However, Kuzma was a great finisher in Los Angeles. I think he was great in transition. When he gets to Milwaukee, playing with Giannis, that game is going to speed up. Playing with Dame, I think the game is going to speed up even more, and I think that's going to help his game. I think he's going to be really good in Milwaukee. Really good in Milwaukee.
Who's throwing him outlet passes in Milwaukee?
Giannis.
Giannis is throwing outlet passes.
Yes, Giannis ain't passing to Kuzma instead of taking it himself.
And Brook Lopez.
With Kuzma, it's not so much about him leaking out and getting.
What's wrong with you guys? Like Giannis just takes the ball off the glass all the time. Yes, he's just going with it. He doesn't pass in transition.
No,
he ain't passing. If Giannis sees,
dudes, I don't know what the hell I be watching when I listen to you. What the fuck is going on, man?
And he sees Kuzma.
Language.
If Kuzma ahead of the field,
Kyle Kuzma, by the way, is averaging. He's good. 5 points, 5 transition points a game, 1.14 points per possession, which is worse
on the worst team in the NBA.
Which is worse than Giannis, Shea, Zach LaVine. Also bad situation. Christian Brown, 1.34 points per possession, by the way. Insane. Tyrese Maxey. Guess who on his team is even better? Jordan Poole. I got you. Even more efficient on more volume.
I just don't think Kuzma was being hurt by Washington to the degree Chill does. That's where we disagree.
Before we get into that, though, like with the transition thing, I feel Chill because you got to understand when you have guys that are trailing in trend. So you got to understand you got the fast break and you got a secondary fast break.
Never throws the ball ahead. Giannis just takes the ball off the glass.
No one say he never.
Somebody's open. That's exactly what you just said. He grabs the ball off the glass and he just goes. 100%. Giannis takes the ball off the glass and goes. So if somebody's open in transition, he's not getting off the ball. So Kuzma at 6'9", running the lane, wide open, 40 feet ahead of Giannis. He's open. Nope, Giannis is holding on to the ball. Giannis is going to hold on to the basketball, even though he gets the ball.
Run to the 3-point line. That's what he's going to be told to do.
That's
and I mean, with Giannis and Dame in transition, Kuzma's going to get a lot of open looks.
A lot.
A ton of looks. And he's going to knock down a ton of looks. And he's not only going to get threes, he's going to get some layups and dunks and stuff too. But for the most part, he's going to get a lot of trail threes, a lot of corner threes, a lot of spot up threes in early offense. And a lot of that's going to be due to Giannis. You guys understand? You understand too? You understand too, like a lot of times Giannis might not have the ball, but Giannis is going to command 2 or 3 people just from running the lane. You got to run and protect the hoop. Otherwise, it's a wide open dunk from Giannis. That leads to Kuzma threes.
Yeah, I agree. But this is crazy. Christian Brown has 318 transition points this year.
Give me a break, Swiper. Of course, you're going to talk about the Denver Nuggets.
No, I'm just reading.
I mean, he was doing my transition, and Christian Brown.
Yeah, I'm reading it.
I just think how Kuzma was getting transition opportunities in Washington. I just don't.
LeBron, 277 transition points. Old man LeBron.
I said James is better. No.
I'm just reading.
How about KD? What does KD look like?
Well, KD, they don't get any stops, so I doubt they're getting transition. Here, let me look it up.
KD's more efficient in transition than Kuzma, but he has one less possession per game. So
yeah, they don't get no stops, Chill. That's not fair, Chill. They don't get stops. They don't got.
You don't brought KD up. I didn't bring KD up.
They don't have any defenders. Remember? Let me see.
Who doesn't have any defenders?
Here, hold on. Hold on.
This is what he's saying.
Kuzma's
good in transition. I agree.
I think he's damn good in transition, and I think that with him being in Milwaukee, I think they're going to enhance his game. I think that was a win for them. Those are the three teams that I'm thinking about, Ron.
Okay. Do you have any losers, too?
Yes, Charlotte. I still can't believe they gave up Mark Williams. I can't believe that for the life of me. And his teams around the league looking at the trade to the Lakers saying, we did not know he was available. We would have called too if we would have known that. Well, Ron, how many times have I told you? 1 in every 3 chicks is with it. All you got to do is ask. And it sounds to me, and it sounds to me like the Lakers asked. That's what it sounds like.
Rob Pelinka was on his Steph Curry. He was getting them shots up. Logo threes, fadeaway threes. Hey, shoot it, and just turn around and keep running back on defense threes.
Let me find out.
Casual, who you rocking with? Biggest winners and losers from the trade deadline?
Well, biggest winner, obviously, I would say the Lakers. But since people have probably talked on here for the last 5 days on how the Lakers have won the trade deadline, I'll give another pick. I go Cleveland. I'd say Cleveland because I really like the move for DeAndre Hunter. I think when you're competing with the Boston Celtics, who I still think are the most talented roster in the league, especially from a starting 5 standpoint, to beat them, you need to inch closer. And I already thought Cleveland had a really good starting 5, but their biggest weakness right there was that 3 spot. They've had multiple people throughout the season start at that 3, whether it be Strus, Okoro, Harris, LeVert. They've all started. They needed a solid 3-and-D guy who can catch threes, and he can also be a long, lengthy wing. You couldn't get the defense from LeVert. You couldn't get that from Strus because he's too small. And Okoro has the size, but he can't shoot like that. They get all that in one with DeAndre Hunter. I think that move enters them even closer to Boston. Now they have the 6-game lead. He is a amazing shooter. He's 19 a game, something crazy. And when you play Boston, something that you need is that 6'8", 6'9", long wing guy to throw out the 2 J's. And I think they have it now with DeAndre Hunter. I'm not saying Hunter is all-world first-team defender, but he has size. And I think that's really good for Cleveland.
What is he, 6'7", 6'8", something like that?
6'7", 6'8" for sure.
6'7",
I think he might be closer to 6'8" than 6'7".
Here's the thing, though, Casual. I think that with Hunter, I think he's better in the rotation than he is as a starter. I think he's up for 6th man of the year this year. I can appreciate how you feel about Okoro and about Strus not being consistent shooters, but I think that Strus is a good enough shooter and a decent enough defender that he can supplement. So when DeAndre Hunter comes in, because I think DeAndre Hunter is going to play heavy minutes, but I think he's better off the bench. And I think that Strus is good enough as a shooter and decent enough as a defender that he can supplement whenever he's on the starting 5, that whenever DeAndre Hunter comes in, he can give them whatever it is that they need, and then he can play heavy minutes.
Well, Hunter on Cleveland is essentially still a rotational player when he's going to be the 5th guy on the starting lineup. I'd say the thing with Strus is, again, he's just too small. He's your 3, and you got to play
6'6". Yes, I think he's 6'6".
Small for me. When you got to play the 2 J's in a 7-game series, tip off, that's the guy who's meeting them. You don't really feel comfortable with that. And DeAndre Hunter is just overall a better player. So when you have Boston, who is throwing out the best 5 in the league, you need to match them talent-wise. And I'm not saying Cleveland's matching them, but they've inched closer now with an upgrade in I keep wanting to say Travis Hunter, DeAndre Hunter.
Sure. Now I would have said that, he was on that Miami Heat team that went to the finals and to the East Finals. Strus was, and he was matched up on Jaylen Brown. But with that being said, that was primarily Caleb Martin's matchup. Caleb Martin, who's
they had Martin and Jimmy Butler too.
Yeah, that was. I think that was primarily his matchup, and I think that you have guys like DeAndre Hunter. I think you have guys like Okoro who can protect him. So if you got him in the start, I feel like if you got Strus in the starting lineup, who I think he's a better, even though he's a streaky shooter, he's one of those shooters who, when he gets going, I mean, I think he's really good. But when he doesn't, he's really bad. I think Strus is really bad. And I think Hunter, on the other hand, as a rotation player, because Cleveland got what, 10, 11 guys? Something, I think something to that extent.
They have a good depth.
When you have a guy like Hunter coming off your bench in rotation, I think he's much better supplemented as opposed to, because I think you playing your ace right from the beginning instead of holding on to it, even though you do have other trump cards. And I feel much better playing Strus early. I feel much better playing Okoro early and then going to Hunter as opposed to going to Hunter right away.
I get that. I can see that. It's just he's just an upgrade at the end of the day. In Cleveland, they're still 6 games above Boston with only 10 losses. But when I'm watching them recently, I'm like, they're not as dominant as they were like a month ago. And I think it's partly because of their offense. And Hunter just gives them a better offensive guy, especially from like a catch and shoot standpoint, than like a Strus and LeVert. But watch out for Ty Jerome though off the bench. I think that's their off the bench guy.
You guys got a hell of a bench. Ty Jerome, I was just talking about this yesterday. Ty Jerome, Max Strus, even if Dean Wade now comes off the bench, or if Hunter comes off the bench. However you guys decide to, proportion your lineup and set that up, your bench is nice. That's all I know.
And also
Sam Merrill too.
They got decimated by injury, and I'm not going to argue that because losing Jalen Johnson was a big deal. But I mean, with this trade, Karis LeVert is a baller. I think he's one of the better rotation players in the league, and I really like the fact that Atlanta got him. I think that if Jalen Johnson was healthy, I think this would really help them. I'm not sure that Atlanta wanted to pay DeAndre Hunter. I think that was the major issue. I don't think he signed an extension yet. And I think he was coming up. I think he's coming up soon. And I think that's why they wanted to move off of him.
Okay.
I have no idea what Atlanta's doing. So
you got a loser? Biggest loser?
Well, I'd say Dallas, but again, I don't want to talk about because everyone's been talking about it. I'd throw out just
but I do want to hear your reason behind why Dallas is the biggest.
Oh, they just trade their face. And I still think Dallas is legit good. I still think they're one of the best teams in the Western Conference. But their window significantly shrinks. They traded their face to the franchise. I've kind of talked about it for like the last 5 days, and I feel like everyone's heard it, all the points again. They did something really bad to their fans by giving their hope away. But I'd shift to Phoenix just because it's damn, you couldn't get off Bradley Beal. Oh my God. This guy has a no trade clause and he's still on your team. They have 3 guys making $40 million. They're so stuck. And it's man, out of all the teams that I could say lost, I'll just throw out Phoenix. I don't know how many people are still talking about Phoenix. They're a 500 basketball team with a big 3 of KD, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker, which is just nuts. They can't get off any of these guys. And it's wow. I'd say they're a loser.
Okay.
Where is?
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. You got it. Where's what?
Well, I was going to ask you, Casual, because you brought up Phoenix as a loser. Where do you see them at the end of the season?
First round exit.
If they make the playoffs.
If they get out the plan, yeah. First round exit.
So the season ended. We got the play-in tournament going on. Where do you think Phoenix is? The season just ended today, and you got Phoenix in the play-in tournament. Where do you think they are?
Well, right now they're 9, so I think they'll win the first play-in game because they'll either get Golden State or Sacramento. I think I would I'd take a fully healthy Phoenix team in that matchup. But if they got to play Dallas in that second one, I'm taking Dallas. Let's just say if Dallas stays in the play-in, I would take Dallas in that game.
Got you.
Phoenix is just too top-heavy for me. I don't like it. I don't like the roster construction at all. It's just too weird.
Yeah, for me, it's just the fact that you guys have just been trashed this year. That roster construction, obviously, you hone in on that more when you look at their wins and losses and you see just how bad they've been. But it's just if y'all not gonna win, then what's the point in having, what'd you say, 3 players making 40+ mil? If you're not winning, what's the point in doing that? Honestly, I wouldn't consider coming off Booker. I'm heavily in that mindset right now that if we're not gonna win, give me all your first round picks, give me your young assets.
Yeah, I don't trust.
Why?
I don't trust. Their owner's not going to do that, though. This guy is extremely reckless. I don't think he's going to move off Devin Booker.
Yeah. Well,
which is not something that Mars is a fan of. Mars hates that because Mars would have loved to have Devin Booker in Houston at the expense of Jalen Green, and we'll get to Houston, whose the engine is on fire.
Houston would be
I told you. Very possible we end up back in the play. Very possible.
The engine is on fire in Houston. I'm like, what the hell is going on with these dudes, man? But anyway, Ron, I don't want to derail us. Keep going.
Mars, biggest winner and loser to you?
San Antonio.
Winner?
Getting De'Aaron Fox. Major upgrade talent-wise, and complements what you got going on with Wemby. And I think what makes it a bigger deal is you didn't give up Devin Vassell, Stephon Castle, any major young pieces to get it done. It was Zach Collins, who should have been off the team anyway. Trey Jones, who now becomes surplus when you have another point guard in De'Aaron Fox. Sidi Sissoko, someone who I guess has some upside, but hasn't really got any burn in the NBA yet. And then some picks, but you still got Atlanta's picks, which is valuable because Atlanta don't know what they're doing right now with Jalen Johnson being out, and they're the 9th seed. And they seem to be in free fall. So San Antonio, I think, came up big just with De'Aaron Fox on top of everything else they kept. And losers, I was gonna say the Bucks, but they've been called winners. So
you could call them losers.
No, but they've already been spoken about.
But I want to ask you though, why you think they're losers?
Because I think Kuzma sucks.
Okay,
I think he's bad. So like. That's it. And they're a slow team. You still have Brook Lopez, who can't really move at this point. Bobby Portis is actually valuable to their team, but he's bad when he's on the floor. But he's also like, they're really bad without him. So it's weird to like how that seems to work. Yeah, I just don't think the Bucks are very good. But other losers outside of that, did Denver make any moves?
They couldn't do anything.
Yeah, I've seen a clip of like Calvin Booth saying that.
He said that the assets that they had, Zeke and Sarge, there was not much interest. And then he also said he said that out loud too. And then he said they did not have any big pieces on the table. But I heard from a very good source that they just Porter wasn't even on the table as of like a couple months ago. So like they just wasn't even involved. Now had KD gone ahead and said blah blah blah, I'm sure they would have got involved in that, but yeah, they just don't. They said they didn't have the assets and all that, but the assets were all traded out by said person.
So that's interesting. Sneaky loser. I'm very disappointed that OKC didn't do anything. Very disappointed.
Well, they did. They did.
Well, they got Daniel Tice
and more assets. Yeah,
and waived them.
With what they have at their disposal, Cam Johnson was right there. You do that, I think you maximize your championship odds. I think you become the shoe-in favorites.
With Cam Johnson, like he pushes them over the top.
Yes.
I mean, I already think they're on top, but I think Cam Johnson pushes them over the top to a point where I don't see anyone beating them in the West. So, I think I'm just not disappointed because I still think they're the best team.
Well, they're holding on to their fuel for.
They could have had the deck. Completely.
They're holding on to their fuel for the Giannis and them talk in a year. Because they just
if they do that, then my fault for calling you a loser of the 25 deadline. But like right now, it just feels like they could have made a move that could have made them like very, very strong favorites, and they didn't do anything. But they're still a great team, and they get checked back tonight. So like, I'm not saying this is what's going to stop them from winning the championship. I just feel if they had Cam Johnson, I feel like it wouldn't really even be a question.
I feel Mars. It's like poker. It's like they're slow playing pocket aces. Like, let's get a little value in this pot a little bit, bro. I mean, you're gonna win, but let's put some chips in the middle a little bit.
That's my sneaky loser. That's my sneaky loser. My real loser was the Bucks, but my sneaky loser is OKC.
I think what Oklahoma City, I call it check day. That's on draft night. That's when I just got paid, and whatever you want, come get it. I think that's when they make whatever moves because that's when most teams are sellers. And with what Oklahoma City has, I think they have a real good opportunity to get whatever they want with the assets that they have. I think that they want to see where they are this year with currently what they have. I don't think that they want to mess with that. And that's why I don't think that they shook up anything, because I think they got a damn good team, Mars. I do. I think they got 9 guys. Now, I will tell you this, and I'm probably in the minority. I'm not a fan of Jalen Williams. I think that they could get a better rotation player than him.
The big.
No, not Dub. Yeah. Not Dub. I'm not a big fan of him. I think they do something with him this summer, and I think that they upgraded that spot.
Well, he's not gonna play in the playoffs though.
Well, yeah,
now you don't think so? You don't think so?
Chet Hartenstein. I don't know what lineups they're going to run, but we'll see. I do agree with you, though. I don't think they needed a star, because a lot of people in the offseason were like, oh, we should trade for Lowry. I'm like, I kind of like their big 3. I kind of would have messed with it this season, but like the rotational piece, maybe like one more, like let's get like a guy in the margins who can like get like a couple points off the bench. Unless you trust. I know Wiggins had like a couple big games.
Yeah, Wiggins be balling.
But unless you trust like Wiggins and Isaiah Joe to be like your microwave guy off the bench.
Now you got iHeart coming off the bench. Or now Casey Wallace is going to come off the bench. Or Lou Dort. One of those guys that are starting is going to come off the bench, or it's going to be iHeart. So it's like, I don't know.
Well, wait a minute, Ron. We're not. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Ron.
I just want to say the thing about it is, it's like, and we know this cliche saying. We all know it like the back of our hands. If it's not broke, why the hell would you fix it?
Don't break it, right? Don't break it. But with that being said, Ron,
they have a well-oiled machine over there. They are rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
Do they need to make a move?
It's not about need. It's about having the ability to still improve. Just because you're on top, that doesn't mean you don't need to improve.
No,
fair enough.
And Cam Johnson does nothing to hurt your team. He doesn't make your defense worse. He doesn't make your offense worse. He's not hard to implement into a scheme. He's a smart player. He's experienced. He has playoff level experience. There's
final level experience.
He's very durable. Like, there's no downside to a Cam Johnson acquisition, especially with what it was going, what they would have had to give up. Like, there was no drawback. But
yeah, he did sign an extension for like $100 million, if I'm not mistaken. So to put that money, to put that money on your books may have been.
They have people to pay coming up soon. I don't think they want to get in the big contract business. But just like
they do neither.
Just like a veteran scorer off the bench, I think would have done them pretty good in the playoffs.
Well, see, here's the thing.
Like Ron said, they don't need to. They have 9 losses, and they're arguably the best team in the NBA. So that even with not making a move. But I do agree with Mars in a sense, like, man, you're sitting on your hand for so long. Like, when is this going to happen? You piled all these picks for a reason. Like, can we get the ball rolling on a massive blockbuster or something? You can't have all these picks.
They're going to trade for Wemby next year because the Spurs are concerned.
You can't have all these picks forever.
He's 7'4". He might not hold up. They're going to trade him. That's what's going to happen.
They got a guy that's going with that.
Chet, Wemby, and Shea. I like it.
Now, Ron,
Mars, just make sure that they hand over the kid. Go ahead, Chill.
Now, remember too, Ron. I mean, Chet's coming back from a major injury, so it's not like they're throwing him right back in the lineup, right? He's going to be on a minutes restriction, so I think they ease him back in the lineup. The good thing is that the All-Star break is next week, so he's going to have even more time to rest and get himself ramped up for like the last 27 games of the season. So they're gonna ease him back in the lineup. With that being said, they're still going to rely heavily on those guys that they've been relying on all season long. Now, Mars, I can appreciate to your point, because it sounds to me like you want to stay ahead of the curve. You don't just want to sit where you are. Even if you are at the top of the league, I don't want to just sit here and just not do anything while everybody else is trying to get better. I'm already the best, but I don't want to just sit here while everybody else is trying to get better. I can appreciate that. But I think that the assets that you currently have in terms of players, I think you can do it for a little while longer off the strength that you're young. Like if you were the 96 Bulls where, you had some aging guys, okay, Mars, we probably got to do something. We probably got to do something soon. But you got SGA's 26, J-Dub is 24, Casey Wallace is a kid, Chet is a kid.
They're the youngest team in the league.
Yeah, so I think that you
crazy.
Right. So I think that you do have a little bit more time where, with all of these assets that you have, not just being on the floor, but also these picks, I do think you have some time to sit on those. But I do know one thing, and one thing is a fact. Mars, hand over the kid, man. Hand him over. You don't need him. You don't need the kid, Mars. Hand him over. And give me one of them ones, too.
Yo, right quick before we transition to the next segment, I do just want to ask you guys. You're the GM of the Oklahoma City Thunder. You kind of feeling audacious. You have this treasure chest full of assets. You got these young studs. Who do you guys just get bold? If you just wake up and you just bold, like I'm going to get somebody today. Who is it that you go get to bring on this team?
Kevin Durant.
Ben Simmons.
I would have got KD.
Ben Simmons.
Yep.
Kevin Durant.
Yeah, Chill's trying to sabotage.
Hey, Ben Simmons got bought out this morning.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't get into Ben Simmons' business. I don't think he's good, but I would get Kevin Durant deadline's over, but you said if I could go back, do some like NBA My League trade override, Kevin Durant would just be perfect on this team. SGA, KD, who are you going to guard 7 games? That's a clear upgrade. I know people love J-Dub. That's a clear upgrade over J-Dub. I know he plays good, really good defense, but when Shea's getting the kitchen sink thrown at him and you got KD on the wing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mars, remind me who got the best defense in the league.
OKC.
Remind me, Mars, who moves the basketball better in the league.
OKC.
Remind me who
do they move the
Brooklyn Nets? Remind me who the Brooklyn Nets were running their offense through.
Ben Simmons.
Remind me who's one of the better passers in the game in your estimation.
Ben Simmons.
Remind me who one of the better perimeter defenders is in the game.
Ben Simmons.
Remind me how much money Ben Simmons is making.
Well, he just got bought out, so it's going to be a minimum, right? But he was making 40, but yeah.
Which means peanuts. Sounds like he is perfect for what you guys are doing.
Yeah, they need shooting more than they need Ben Simmons, I think. But
I think y'all straight Wiggins, Wallace.
I agree. Mark, OKC needs to get better at shooting before they get into Ben Simmons' business.
Yeah, but shooting would be my main priority.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ben Simmons, I think could be nice in certain situations. I mean, another team that needs shooting, but I'm disregarding that for Ben Simmons.
What's going to lose?
I'd want Ben Simmons in Houston. I know that. I'd want Ben Simmons in Houston. But I just think OKC, the only thing that moves the needle for me if I'm OKC is either elite floor spacing from a role player or we get another superstar. KD would be the move I would make. If I'm Phoenix, I would have been blowing it up already, but I don't even think
facts, Mars.
Maybe it's wishful thinking, but I don't even think you'd have to give up one of like the young guys. Like I don't think you'd have to give up Chet or J-Dub or Shea. Like,
wait.
I don't think you'd have to. You just give them a bunch of picks and some young guys you want, J-Dub, and I think you'll be fine. You give them Nikola Topic, you give them Kayson Wallace, you give them Aaron Wiggins.
You don't want to give me Nikola Topic, Mars, you son of a you know what? I don't want to give
you Nikola Topic for Cam Johnson. This is Kevin Durant.
This is KD.
This is a completely different conversation. So give you Nikola Topic, who was a lottery pick, who was actually projected to go top 5 before he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
So a legitimate, like high-level lottery pick. You give them him, you give them whatever makes the money work, and then you give them a bunch of picks. Like Phoenix have no picks, they have no future. You give them a bunch of picks.
Like
I think you can. Yeah, give them maximum amount of picks. Give them Nikola Topic. Give them Usman Jang. Give them Aaron Wiggins. That's what, maybe like 25 million, maybe. Give them Isaiah Joe if you have to. And then you have Kevin Durant with J-Dub, with Shea, with Chet, with Isaiah Hartenstein, with Lou Dort. That's the team I would. I
don't think they want anything to do with KD, Oklahoma City.
Well, yeah, I mean, but this is if I was.
I do understand. I do understand what you're saying, Omars. But real quick, Ron, are you out on Phoenix?
Yeah, completely out.
Are you done?
It is. I don't want nothing to do with Phoenix.
It's so over like, for them, bro. It's so over for them.
And so I was actually gonna give my biggest winners and losers from the trade deadline, and my biggest loser actually happens to not necessarily be the Phoenix Suns, but it's more so Kevin Durant. I feel sorry for KD. I feel bad for him.
Wow, Ron, he want to be there.
He wanted Jimmy there with him.
I feel bad for him for not knowing what's good for him. There you go.
I'm like, he wanted Jimmy there with him. He didn't get Jimmy. He wants to be on a contender. Obviously, how old is KD? 36?
36. Yep.
Soon to be 37. Bron got whether he liked it or not. Bron got a superstar.
So he needs to join the Lakers.
Steph and Draymond they got a star player. They got a star
player.
player.
KD already has superstars named Devin Booker.
What? It's just a bad situation. all I'm saying is everybody else got upgraded. Kevin Durant is still stuck in the Sahara. Okay,
Well,
I just don't get how they're not a good team. That's my
Kevin
thing.
Durant was very optimistic about the Bradley Beal thing, and Bradley Beal was the reason why his roster can't get upgraded. So I feel bad, but he kind of shot himself in the foot with campaigning for Bradley Beal, which is why one thing I will criticize Kevin Durant for: he's terrible at GMing.
Very
awful.
We might joke about LeBron, Le GM, blah blah blah. We understand these superstars have input on these teams. Kevin Durant is really bad at knowing what actually helps his team.
Jordan, to answer your question,
that's right.
The reason why they bad because KD, to Mars's point, is at the park. I'll take him. And you trying to figure out why it ain't working. That's not the way it working.
I mean, I know I get that too, but I'm just saying, like in a world where we can look in hindsight. Well, I don't want to look in hindsight right now. We say Bradley Beal on the team with KD, with Devin Booker, with at the time Yusuf Nurkic, who's been proven in the NBA to be pretty decent. Okay.
Yep.
We look at their roster and we get excited. Oh, they're gonna be good. They're gonna be hard to beat, and then they suck. And it's like, why do they suck so bad?
Because on
that's
paper,
the main thing.
The roster construction and health too. They've lost so many games. Just Beal's not here tonight.
Yeah,
oh, Booker's not here tonight. Oh, KD's not here tonight. They've lost.
Yeah, I hate when they put stars together on one team, and then they do stuff like that. Like, oh, I'm not gonna play. It's just gonna be them two. Oh, I'm not gonna play. It's just gonna be y'all today. Oh, it's gonna be just you today. Then the playoffs come, and all y'all want to play, and then y'all look dumb as hell because y'all haven't done it.
I don't think they chose to get hurt, but you know.
No, I mean, yeah, but
Bradley Beal was dealing with a back hit.
Yeah, there's guys who get hurt.
KD was actually quite there throughout. It was Book and Bill who were dealing with some injuries. This year, KD's had like 2 little minor injuries. He's missed like 10 games. Book's missed some time. So like they just haven't been able to be together all at the same time.
But I'm just wondering
when Book and KD are out there, their record isn't too bad. But the team is just not good. Like it's just not a good team, like at all.
But it's supposed to be a good team with 2 superstars. Like a team with 2 superstars on the team is supposed to be good. They supposed to.
It's supposed to, but it's not.
Yeah, if that's how you think it's supposed to work, then yeah, I guess. But like,
I'm just saying, we got 2 superstars and some role
for
players.
the past few years. We watched the Lakers with LeBron and AD not be a good team,
and Westbrook.
We watched the Suns with this iteration of the Suns with Book and Bill, not Book and KD not be good. So like, yeah, it's like, oh my god, 2 superstars they're meant to be good. And it's like, well, not necessarily. Like we're at a point where the team has to be good. You can't just have 2 good players, have a bunch of trash around it, and be like, well, you got 2 superstars, make it work. I don't
know if they got a bunch of trash around them. You can't employ a bunch of trash around them.
You can't start, in my opinion, the worst starting point guard in the NBA and start the worst starting center in the NBA and be like, well, you got 2 superstars, it's meant to work. Like I just don't agree with that. Like the team sucks.
All right, but when you say the worst starting point guard,
Bradley Beal don't even suck. But Bradley Beal is just making way too much, and he just doesn't fit. You would move him if you could. But Bradley Beal is actually a good player. But you just can't start a bunch of bums around superstars and be like,
but they're not bums. See, I don't agree with
that. That's why we disagree.
Yeah, because just saying that they bums, I just don't think
is a bum. Yusuf Nurkic was a bum. Nick Richards is a bum. Oso Ighodaro is a young bum. Tyus Jones, bum. Monte Morris, bum. Michi Clown's gonna be over there, not gonna play. He's gonna be a bum.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with all of them are bums. And it's just like, of course, okay, number one with Nurkic, okay. Number one with Nurkic. I hate when a player go to a team and then they don't fit and then we call them bums. It's like, bro, Nurkic was pretty damn good in Portland. Maybe not.
Why doesn't he fit? Why doesn't he fit in Phoenix? Why doesn't he fit in Phoenix? What's the problem?
That's my question. But that's my question.
So in Portland,
he's not good on defense or offense. So that's usually a hard way to fit into a basketball team.
Well, not
but
only
he's
that.
been good on offense all his career. All of a sudden, he get over there.
Have you heard of the concept of regression? Have you heard of that? You know, like players.
It's always, but no. But you know what I don't like about the whole regression thing? It's like when it's a bad fit, it's regression.
No, it's when you get worse and it's a bad fit, you look worse than you probably are. He's probably not as bad as he has been this season. Cool. He's probably not as bad as he has been for Phoenix. He's also gotten worse and is very clearly a bad player.
But you can't say he's gotten worse.
Is he a bad defensive player? Is he?
Yeah, but he's been at his whole career. We're not. That's not something that you signed Nurkic for.
He's a bad defensive player who used to make up for it on offense and was a positive on offense because good screen setting, good in the short roll, solid passing. He could score, solid touch around the rim. He can't score around the rim no more. He turns the ball over at a crazy rate for someone who has the ball as little as he does. And he's not creating good offense for his team. That's a bad player.
And on top of that, stuff.
I know
we got to move. I know we got to move on. I know.
I don't know. We're debating Nurkic regression.
We'll get back to this, but in the meantime, I want to tell you guys about a nice, pretty little app that you need to download for a couple reasons. Few reasons. Simply because you can run your game, control your game, and win your game right here in this very app. When you play $5, you will get 50 back instantly in promo funds, but only when you use promo code PANEL. Now, it's some good things going on this week in PrizePicks. They have their big game free pick with Patrick Mahomes projection discounted. Now, Patrick Mahomes is slotted to throw 250 yards, but PrizePicks has done everybody in the world a little favor and discounted that to just Patrick Mahomes throwing for 1 yard and you win that pick. And it's very simple with PrizePicks. And I'm going to show you how it's done here in a second. You download the app. You use promo code PANEL. Once you get your $50 back instantly after playing $5, you choose the players that you like in the sport that you like, and you simply choose more or you choose less. And after you do that, you have a contest. And after you do that, you submit your contest. And after you do that, you win your contest. It's very, very, very simple that even an ox could do it. I tell you guys this every day. But the cool part about this whole thing is you get an opportunity to gloat when you do come up victorious. And my man Swiper, apparently last night, he got the opportunity to do that. So let me show you guys what Swiper came off with last night. Now, Swiper did this courtesy of me because if it wasn't for me telling Swiper to do the LeBron demon pick and telling him to do the Christian Brown, he wouldn't have did this. And then I also told him about the Pascal Siakam. You know, he was only going to go Denver Nuggets. He was only going to go Nikola Jokic, and then he was going to go Michael Porter Jr., obviously. And then, you know, the Christian Brown, like, obviously he was going to do those. But he ended up going with LeBron, Anthony Edwards, and Pascal Siakam. And for just $25, Swiper brought home $950. And you can do the same thing. All you got to do is download the app and use promo code PANEL. Now, with that being said, fellas, let's go ahead and get into it. Chill, Mars. What y'all think?
Can I take a look at that Milwaukee Atlanta game?
Bucks or Hawks?
Bucks. Let me see what Giannis's line looks like. What's Giannis's PRA?
PRA 50.
44.5. Oh,
no, that's points and rebounds. PRA is 50.
I'll take that, Ron. I'll take the more on that.
Okay. Mars.
So
how
I
you
don't
feeling?
have to take from the Spurs Hornets game.
You know, I forgot that we are doing the Spurs and Hornets game. But, you know, due to you guys complaining and saying you wanted to watch a better game,
we ain't complaining, Ron. Okay, we're not complaining, Ron.
I upgraded us to a better game. We got better floor seats, okay?
Thank you.
Now we'll be watching Chet return against Penn's Raptors.
Okay, I can get with that.
So we got OKC and
what's
Toronto.
Shay's line? What's Shay's line, Ron? I'm looking at demon points.
I'm gonna leave that Giannis on there though.
Let's see. Oh, that's PRA. Let me see the demon points.
Oh hell. Oh hell, 50. 34.5. That's it. I know it's a double demon. 39.5. Triple demon. All right, nah.
I'll take Shea getting 40.
Shea getting 40
against this Toronto defense that's been good for a little while. Shea gonna put an end to that. Actually, no. The Raptors actually be like the Raptors just love trying to stop superstars. Let me get Shea's regular points and let me just take less. Yeah, let me take less.
Okay. All right. Since we are doing this game, let me see what Toronto got going on. Yeah. Oh, what am I thinking? Scotty Barnes, PRA. Come on, man.
Okay.
Demon PRA. Scotty. Let's do it. And Chill, you wanna make a pick for this game?
For the Oklahoma City Toronto game?
Yeah.
Let me see what Case and Wallace. Let me see what the long ball looked like with Case and Wallace. I'm sorry, not Case and Wallace. Who am I thinking about? Wiggins, because I think he might be able to crack a couple tonight.
Wiggins
11?
don't got threes, but he got points.
He got 12 points. That means you probably made some threes.
I'm gonna take the more on that one, Ron. Yes,
more Wiggins.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the more on Wiggins. Mm-hmm.
And y'all, let's see if we could just spice things up with
Chet right there. Why are we not gonna spice things up with Chet?
We think he
gets gonna come back and have an amazing game.
But how many minutes is he gonna play?
Enough to have an amazing game.
17 points and rebounds.
Yeah, Chet gonna have
17 points in 20 minutes.
That's 8 and 8.
He's gonna have 17 points.
That's 8 and 8.
All right.
I think he could do that. 17 points and rebounds. Yeah, I think he could do that in 20 minutes. Yeah.
And just to sweeten the pot, just the eensy beensy bit.
Mm-hmm.
High rebounds. 12.5.
No, what Toronto's actually been rebounding lately. Mm-mm.
I need somebody demon threes and we can get up out of here.
Down.
Where's it at? Right here.
I'm confident he'll make one.
Yeah, we'll throw that on there. And this is how we rocking, y'all. This is what we doing. We got Giannis Antetokounmpo, 50 PRA more. We got SGA, the NBA scoring leader, going less tonight. We got Scotty Barnes, Demon pick, 39.5 PRA, Mo. Aaron Wiggins, 11.5 points, Mo. Chet Holmgren, back from a long stint on the bench and on the sidelines. He's taking off them street clothes and suiting up. All we need is 17 points and rebounds, Mo. And last but not least, Jalen Williams. Well, this actually is the least. All we need you to do is crack a 3. This is a goblin pick. We don't usually do goblin picks too much, but we'll sprinkle a little cherry on top of this goblin pick. $50 turns into $520, and we will see you guys All-Star Weekend.
Ben Simmons is meeting with the Clippers, Cavs, and Rockets today.
Rockets?
It should be a Zoom meeting with the Rockets. Why? All right, Mars. Hold on. All right, Mars. Because I don't understand. Like, you be so hard on everybody else being a bum and suck and all that stuff. But when it comes down to Ben Simmons, you so optimistic.
Get him.
I don't think Ben Simmons is a bum.
I don't get it though. He's, by your standard, he's clearly regressed since he left Philly.
For sure, regressed. Regressing doesn't mean he became a bum. He's regressed into an okay player. He's an okay player. He's not an all-star. He's not a special player. He's an okay player who I actually think would help Houston.
Ben Simmons is the same.
Is he better than Nurkic? Is he better than Nurkic?
I was just about to say that he's the same. He's the same bum as Nurkic did.
Nowhere close. Ben Simmons is a legitimate positive on both sides of the ball. Nurkic is a negative on both sides of the ball. Ben Simmons helps you on defense and helps you on offense. Until
he go to a situation that may not be to his style and he doesn't, and then you're gonna call him a bum?
I don't know a situation that wouldn't be to his style, but yeah,
all right,
we'll see. But the reason I want him in Houston is because Ime loves to go to his small ball lineups. I think Ben Simmons makes them more tenable, where he's going to these lineups without a big. You can actually have Ben Simmons out there, especially when Jabari comes back. You have that playmaking hub in the middle in Ben Simmons, but defensively, you have more switchability. You have more size and 2, 6, 10 guys out there with Amen Thompson, with Tyrese, and as opposed to what we got right now, where we don't have Şengün out there with the switch everything lineups, and we're going with Amen Thompson at the 5, which is just not a tenable situation. So I think Ben Simmons helps in that regard. And then in the situations where we're not going with where we have Şengün out there, you have another guy who can make really good reads and make good passes, get guys involved. And we really lack a lot of playmaking and passing film on the team. The only guys who I trust to make consistent decisions are Fred, and sometimes Şengün, and sometimes Amen. Everyone else is just up and down in terms of decision making. So you have Ben Simmons, who's one of the best decision makers in the NBA. That's a recipe for success. He also, the ball doesn't stick with him, and we are one of the most athletic teams in the NBA. If Ben Simmons gets a rebound, he's outletting it instantly. We have guys who can run the floor. Ben Simmons fits what Houston have going on in every way besides the outside shooting, which I do understand is a big need for Houston, but clearly we aren't addressing that. Very clearly we aren't addressing that. We didn't make a trade for anyone who can shoot, so I'm willing to buy in on everything else that Ben Simmons brings to the table. Plus, he's going to be in a limited role. He's going to play like 15 minutes, 18 minutes a game. He's not going to be a starter, so we're not going to be held back by the fact that he can't shoot.
Man, you are so optimistic about a guy. I was about to say that. A lot
I mean, I don't see the drawbacks for Ben Simmons on $5 million. I just don't see the drawback.
No, it's not necessarily optimism, Mars. Then, as opposed to the stuff that you just said, I mean, all of the stuff that you just said, Mars, he need to be on the floor then, and he don't need to be on the floor for 15 minutes.
Yeah, because
he need to be playing. He need to be. All of that stuff that you're telling me, fuck that. I'm sorry, I'm cussing. I apologize, but Jordan, if we got a guy that's doing all of the stuff that Mars is telling me, he ain't playing no 10, 15 minutes.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Because when I make the case for why it's a good thing, I'm speaking about what would work. The reason I'm not high on Ben Simmons in general, especially as a $40 million player or someone who's going to play a bunch of minutes, is because he has obvious flaws. His flaws include scoring aggression. His flaws include being willing to actually look at the basket and have gravity in the half court. He lacks in those areas. We are a bad half court offense. Ben Simmons is not going to play a bunch of minutes because Ben Simmons doesn't really help your half court offense beyond being a very consistent table setter and floor setter, which I do find valuable. But when we are a bad half court offense, I don't think he can close games for us unless we go to our switch rule lineups. But when we actually work, because we play a lot of clutch games,
which Emike does, which Udoka does.
He may go through his switch rule lineups, and I think he'll play in those minutes. But when we're talking about over the course of a game, when our half court offense gets stagnant, Ben Simmons isn't the answer to that. And our half court offense goes stagnant a lot. Ben Simmons isn't the solution to that. So I think Ben Simmons can be very productive in a limited role. But the more you play a player with major flaws like Ben Simmons, the more you see those flaws. So you play Ben Simmons 34 minutes, all of a sudden, how does Ben Simmons and Amen Thompson look out there for prolonged stretches? It doesn't look great. So when I'm looking at it from that perspective, I'm like, for $5 million or whatever Ben Simmons makes on the buyout market, I don't know the actual amount of money that you get when you get bought out. I don't actually know. But for a lesser amount of money, Ben Simmons as a rotation player, a 7th man, 8th man off the bench behind Tari Eason, that makes sense to me. Ben Simmons in a heavy role for a team that's trying to compete in the playoffs? Probably not. I think Ben Simmons is a good player. I don't think he's a great player. I think he can help a team, but he can also hurt a team with some of his flaws. Like, I don't get how he should be playing 30 minutes.
No, Mars. And the reason why I said that is because of what you sold, like the example that you gave about him taking the ball off the glass and you guys speeding up the game. Well, if one of the main reasons why you guys get leads is because you speed the game up with your defense. Well, if your defense is as good as it is, Ben Simmons is going to enhance that defense, and he's going to enhance that defense to make you guys even better offensively when you're speeding the game up. So I want that on the floor consistently. Now, when we get into the meat and potatoes of games, when the game slows down, which is late in the third quarter, late in the fourth quarter, sure, that's it. But when you're in the first quarter, the first 6 minutes or the second 6 minutes of the first quarter, when you're in the second quarter, Ben Simmons, for the stuff that we're talking about, speeding up the game, getting the defense to create more offense, Ben Simmons needs to be on the floor. Now, I can get with your logic, Mars, if you would tell me that Ben Simmons is going to be on the floor 4 minutes here, 5 minutes here. I could get with that part right there. But from what you're selling me, the way you explained it, I'm thinking Ben Simmons needs to be on the floor for a minute. He does not need to be on the floor for a little bit of time. He needs to be on the floor for a while. But I can appreciate your logic about him. I can appreciate how he helps you guys. But from what you're selling, it just sounded like he needs to be on the floor for a long time.
He played 4 or 5 minutes every quarter. He's playing 16 to 20 minutes, which is exactly where I said he would be. Like, he plays damn near half of every quarter. He plays 20 minutes a game. Like, I think that's a solid value for him. The reason I was selling Ben Simmons without saying the drawbacks is because Jordan was talking like I didn't think through my Ben Simmons pick for Houston. He was saying it as if I just said Ben Simmons to just praise him. When no, I thought about the fit and thought it made sense. So I had to make the case for why it would make sense. Now, obviously, it's not perfect, but what do you expect a perfect situation to be when it's a player on the buyout market? Like, if you get bought out, you're probably a flawed player. So, like, I'm not expecting him to save the season, but I think he can provide value. And I think the reason Ben Simmons is so maligned is because A, what he used to be, which was a legitimately elite player. B, because of the money he was making before he got bought out, $40 million. You would expect more from a $40 million player. He was by far the worst player in the league making $40 million, I think. Off the top of my head, yes.
Worse. It wasn't
off the top of my head, he's by far the worst player making $40 million. He's no longer gonna be that. So now I can speak about his positives. It's the same reason why Russ was maligned for the Lakers. When Russ is making $47 million, bad. All the flaws, bad. It's not worth the money because you're making up all of that cap. When Russ is making a minimum, you can talk about the positives more because it's great what Russ does, pushing the pace in transition, being a good passer, being a good cutter. All of those things are more valuable when he's only making $6 million. When he's making $47 million, the fact that he can't shoot and the fact he makes dumb decisions is more costly because he hits more of your cap. Ben Simmons, same situation. When Ben Simmons isn't an aggressive scorer, when Ben Simmons hurts you in the half court, that's bad when he's making $40 million. It's something you live with as just a flaw of Ben Simmons when he's making $6. So yes,
so this is all about the money then.
I think,
interesting.
Yes, that's how players always get compared relative to their.
I can definitely appreciate that.
The bad guy. It's the same reason why Rudy Gobert gets flamed for being bad on offense. It's like, if Rudy Gobert was making 12 million, no one would really care that he's this bad on offense. But when you're making 36 million, you're not bad on offense. People are gonna criticize you. I don't think that's the right way to look at it. I just understand that that's how.
I know that.
If
that's
Ben
not
Simmons
news
was
to
just
me.
making 5 million, he's just a solid. He's just a solid rotation player who's a really good passer at the 4 spot. That's just what he is. But
because we don't talk about Russell, because Russell Westbrook in Denver has been really good. Shit, he's been even better for $3 million.
Russell Westbrook was making $47 million.
Yeah, he's making $3 million now. If he was making $42 million, or if he's making $35 million, what he's doing now, people would be roasting him. I've always felt like the money is always been the issue. So
money or not, I hate Ben Simmons for the Rockets. Money or not,
I do too.
Clippers, I could get with that. Cavs, I could get with that.
No.
Rockets, hell no.
No.
Why does the Clippers make more sense to you?
First off, they're just more experienced. Second off, he's not gonna have to control the ball as much, and they could use somebody else pushing the ball in transition. You got Kawhi, you got Derrick Jones, you got James, you got Norman Powell, you got Big Zoo running the lane, filling the lanes too. I love him for the Clippers coming in, adding to that defense, giving them some more playmaking. I think that makes sense. The Rockets, my thing with the Rockets is like, I don't want him taking the ball out of Amen's hands. I don't want him taking the ball out of Jalen Green's hands. I don't want him getting in. And I don't think he can. It's going to be hard for him to play with him in. And then on top of that, it's like you already got him in. You don't need Ben. And then I don't really like him next to.
It wouldn't be all right.
So you just think he stagnates the development of the young guys? Is what you're saying.
That, and I still don't really like his fit next to them too. I don't think y'all necessarily
are
got
Rockets
enough
trying to win or just develop? Genuine question.
No, I think you guys are trying to win.
No.
Yeah, and I think if you're trying to,
I think they're trying to develop too. They would have made a bigger trade if they were trying to win this year.
No, not win a championship. No, of course not win a championship. But I mean, like, what's the priority? Is it get to the playoffs, be competitive, or is it we were willing to lose regular season games as we are right now, but we're developing our young guys, Amen Thompson, Jalen Green, Şengün, etc. Which one is more acceptable?
Development's the priority this season. I think
if that's the case, then I'm fine with saying no to Ben Simmons. But if you're trying to make the playoffs, which as presently constructed, the Rockets are at risk of not doing so because they're on a very heavy skid, and we're now the 4 seed. I think if we drop to 6 and then we're battling in the play-in race, we could lose a playing game very easily. We could lose a playing game. So there's a chance. There's maybe an outside chance, but there's a chance that the Rockets don't make the playoffs this year, just based on how bad they're playing right now and how close the West is from 6 down.
But isn't getting Ben Simmons just doubling down on what you already do well? Athlete,
I think it's
transition.
Doubling down
on what you do well.
Doubling down on what you do well, which I don't think is always a bad thing.
It's not always a bad thing, but it's like,
it's also doing what you do well with someone who does it better, and not in the sense that he's better than the guys we have, but in terms of we don't like turning the ball over. Without Fred, we turn the ball over a lot more. We don't have many guys who are good decision makers consistently. Ben Simmons, in my opinion, would probably be the best decision maker on the team.
Yes.
So if you have a guy on a team full of young guys who make bad decisions and you get a really good decision maker, that's helpful. We are a really good defense. We have the one flaw we have is that when Ime does go to those small ball lineups, those switch ball lineups, we do still have one frailty. Usually it's Fred VanVleet, but with Fred VanVleet out, sometimes it's Jalen Green, sometimes it's Jae'Sean Tate. With Ben Simmons in there, you can now go to fully switch all lineups and not lose playmaking because you still will have Ben Simmons out there. You still will have Amen Thompson out there. And then you will still have theoretical shooting with Dylan.
Where's the offense at, though? If you go to these
the offense already
fellas, I gotta jump in.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're doubling
fellas,
down.
I gotta jump in here right quick and just tell everybody about the great GameTime app where you can get any seat in the house whenever you want any seat in the house. Now, let's talk about the NFL games for a second. You know, the Super Bowl's coming up, and that is the best event in the world, according to Swiper. And so imagine just being there. It would be amazing, right? But the biggest question would be, how do you get tickets to even get there or even get to any regular season NFL game, even a preseason game? It's hard to do that unless you've got the MVP of ticketing apps, which is the GameTime app. There's no competition, period. So let me break this down for you. GameTime makes tickets So easy. It just makes getting tickets so easy that even a granny could do it. 2 taps on your phone and boom, you in. You want to see your seats before you buy them? Don't worry, they've got it. Don't want to deal with sneaky fees? All in prices, which means no surprises. Oh yeah, and last minute tickets. Game Time's like, don't even sweat it. We got tickets all the way up until the kickoff. Even after the game starts, they got seats for you. But wait, there's more. Game Time guarantees they've got you covered like a lockdown defender. If you found cheaper seats in the same section or row, they'll credit you 110% of the difference. Did you lose your job? Don't even worry about it. They'll refund you. You have an event that was canceled, a game that was canceled, they'll refund you. They even have a 24-hour return policy, no questions asked. Who does that? Game Time does, baby, because they care about you, the fan. So what the heck are you waiting for? Download the GameTime app right now, create an account, and use promo code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, obviously, but come on, it's $20 off. What are you even waiting for, sweating? So download the GameTime app, last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. Now go ahead and make you some good old memories.
Shout out to the Super Bowl, man. Biggest sporting event every year, apparently.
The trade deadline overshadowed the Super Bowl this year.
That's what Chill said.
And then the Super Bowl is going to happen, and it's going to probably be the most watched Super Bowl ever. And then we'll forget the NBA happened for like a week.
No, we definitely won't forget that. But the Super Bowl is going to be dope for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. I got a couple super chats, and then we're going to get back to these trades that happened because it's still a lot to unpack, and it's a lot that we haven't really covered yet. My man DSG Piccolo said, where's Ox at? Even with it being 8-5, we still won. Tumani FC, we still up, nigga. 14 big boards. Levine, put him in the rim. Shaden FC, we getting up. Magic, sure they don't want Simons. Blazers going for that play-in. How do we feel about the Blazers?
Hey, Levine,
break the Blazers up. Break up the Blazers.
Levine did put that boy in the rim nasty last. It was like Levine's our last play on offense. Zach was just pissed. Took him all the way down court, shot, boom, punched it on him. It was nasty. But Tamani, he got them boards. I said he got 14. It was a good game. But how you gonna say it was 8-5 when you seen? Did anybody watch that game?
I watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't 8-5. You should have seen how they was doing DeMontis last night. Oh my God, the way they was doing DeMontis last night was egregious. The refs should be ashamed. But I mean, it was a dope game though. It was definitely a dope game. Shout out to Shannon Sharp. It was some dudes sitting in front of me.
Oh, you was at the game, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. We was, me and my son. We was right there, real close. So there was some dudes sitting in front of me that had brought up Shaden Sharp, and I had brought you up more and said that you had put me up on them last season, and I wasn't so sure. But this year I'm watching more, and I'm really enjoying watching him. And man, that boy was showing out last night. He was showing out last night for sure.
What do you end up doing?
He had 24, I think. Right, 24.
It was a really loud 24 too though. Yeah.
He got a loud type of game though.
Yeah. And then you could just see the difference. Chauncey can't keep Anthony Simons off the floor if they wanna win. Because when you bring Ant off and you put Scoot on, Scoot does some things, but it's an obvious dip in the offense. Like it's an obvious dip in offense. Like you take Scoot off the floor and the team doesn't look all that great. You take Scoot off, put Anthony Simons. Yeah, you put Anthony Simons in there. It's a lot different. He's a different threat than Scoot is. But
that's the offensive player. Like
for sure.
Yeah.
He's and that's not no knock at Scoot. It's just more so that Anthony Simons is still just levels ahead of him right now. But to the Kings though, that Giannis Valanciunas pickup is gonna it's really gonna help us. That was a great pickup for us. Great pickup for us.
The one thing that bothered me, and I don't know why it bothered me so much, but Zach LaVine at the end of 2 different quarters passed up the shot at the buzzer for no reason.
The one he could have just shot the little floater was crazy.
It because I don't know why you're not shooting at the end of quarters. Like it can't be just you're worried about your percentages. Like I'm sorry, that can't be the reason. So that really bothered me because maybe he misses both of those shots. Maybe he makes both of those shots. Who knows? But the game is different. Like you can't be that worried about going 8 for 21 or whatever he would have been if he missed.
Do you think that what it was? The percentage?
I don't know. I don't know what it was. Maybe it's him not being aware of the clock going down, but not being aware 2 different times feels like that's just bad in terms of awareness. He knows he should have shot the one at the end of the third. Like you could see his reaction. Like he knows he should have gone up.
Yeah.
But like that just really bothered me seeing that. But overall, I'm still high on the overall trade and the fit. I still think you guys will figure it out. I do think Valanciunas will help you guys in terms of, especially as rebounding when Domantas goes out. Defensively, I still don't believe in it, but like that's not going to change regardless. But yeah, I'm still overall quite high on the Kings. I think it's more about the Blazers. The Blazers just look legitimately good. Tamani, I'm a big Tamani guy.
2 games.
Yeah, Tamani's my guy. Been pushing that Tamani prop. DeAndre Ayton's still playing soft, but when he's around the rim, he's still really good and efficient. So that's
really good, Joe. Real good.
Yeah, like that's why he's an extremely good, extremely skilled player. He's just soft, but like he can still provide value in that middle of the floor area, free throw line extended. Like he's really good in those areas. So that's cool. Anthony Simons, really good offensive player. When Jeremy Grant's engaged on defense, he can still give you like really solid production on that side of the ball. Denny Avdia is a really, really good player. Like they have like 6-7 guys I really like, and I think Scoot is figuring things out. So
I think
it's
that
right times in Portland. Right times.
I also think that Chauncey, he uses Scoot more situationally than he uses him as his actual lead guard. I think that if Scoot comes out, let's say Scoot misses a couple shots, even if Scoot is defending, I think that he'll go away from him. And I think that he'll stick with Simons to speed the game up. Last night was one of those games where Sacramento was playing fast. Scoot can play fast, but he wasn't, and he missed some shots early. He was able to get himself back in the game, but the fact that Chauncey yanked him in and out of the lineup, I think that kind of threw him off the track a little bit. I thought Portland did a really good job in forcing Monk into tough shots. The same thing that De'Aaron Fox does. Right, De'Aaron Fox takes tough shots, but I think De'Aaron Fox is a better tough shot maker than Monk is, in my estimation. And with that also being said, I think that Monk got himself in a space last night where he was looking to score more than he was looking to pass, because he had DeRozan a couple of times on the wing and he missed them, and he ended up shooting the basketball, just getting downhill. So, I mean, I like what's going on.
That's how you're gonna play, too. I think that he's gonna stay looking for his shot first.
He's a score guard.
He's definitely gonna stay looking to score first.
And I don't got a problem with that, Ox. I don't. As far as Scoot goes, we talked about that. We talked about this before when we were talking about maybe Portland drafting Dylan Harper, right? And we spoke about that, and I'm like, there's nothing wrong with Scoot being the backup point guard. Like even if they drafted him top 3 or whatever, he can still be a serviceable backup point guard. So the yanking in and out of the lineup, I think he's gonna have to, at this the way it's looking, I think he's gonna have to adjust to being productive with the minutes he gets. Like you might not be a person that's gonna play a bunch of long 9-8 minute stretches and get the chance to work into it. You might play in spurts, and you're gonna have to stay ready. When we talked about all the players that we thought Portland was going to trade, and they ended up not trading any of them. When you keep watching them, and especially see how they're playing right now, and I don't think Scoot's playing bad. I want to make sure I'm clear about that. I don't think Scoot's playing bad, but I do think that they might want to second guess that Anthony Simons move. They might want to hold on to the kid and just rock with Scoot. Rock with. Yeah, rock with Scoot. But that's the point. That's the point. It's not because of that, Ron. It's more so just because thinking about the value that these guys brought back. I was thinking Anthony Simons, Jeremy Grant, and DeAndre Ayton. Now I'm thinking you might want to hold on to Anthony Simons.
How many threes Anthony Simons made? He made like a bunch. I want to say like
8.
6.
That's the stats. 8.
Yeah, he can shoot the hell out of the ball. Scoot. I think the thing with Scoot, because Chauncey doesn't even really use him like a point guard very often. Like there's many times where he's just off the ball, and I think it's because the more you put the ball in his hands, he's liable to do some dumb stuff, which is fine. Like he's a 21-year-old point guard, but you can also see the flashes. Like he can make not just good decisions, but advanced decisions, and it's you can see you can see parts of it. Like if he puts it together, he can be really good. It's just he's young right now, and there's a lot of mistakes that he makes. And if they are trying to win, which I don't know, because they've won like 10 of their last 11, and they're making a little push. So like if they are trying to win, maybe you can't afford. Maybe you can't.
They're not trying to lose. I know that.
They're not.
But, like right now, I think like they keep going, they might get into that playing race. Like I don't know how far.
What are they? 2 games out? I think they like 2 games out.
Look, like I don't think they're that far off. I know like they're clearing Utah and New Orleans. Like they're at the point where they're beyond getting into the tanking race. Like they're just going to be the 13th seed at best. I mean,
I think they're like 2 games out.
No, they're 4.5 or 3.5 behind the Warriors and the Suns.
It's good.
It's doable, kind of, but
it's doable.
Like I think they're probably going to end up as a 13 seed. Like I think that's probably where they're going to stay, but they're going to be a competitive 13 seed. Is where it looks like, because they are trying to compete, and they look solid. With the Kings, I do think when you make a big trade like Zach LaVine, or you just get a big star like that, you see teams like they aren't running like most of their like sets because like they haven't learned the playbook yet. So like you see a lot more isolation ball, a lot more just regular pick and roll.
2.5 games out. Yeah,
because teams they're not used to playing with these type of guys. I think you'll see the same thing with Luka in LA. Probably hasn't had time to learn the playbook. Same thing with Anthony Davis in Dallas, De'Aaron in San Antonio. You're not going to see them really like impart the offense. They got to get time to learn the playbook.
Yeah.
But once they do that, I do think the Kings will be good. Right now, it is just a lot of isolation, pick and roll stuff, a lot of stagnant stuff that the Kings aren't used to really be. That's not really what they are. So they are struggling a bit right now, but I think they'll be fine, perfectly fine. They are. We'll see what happens.
They are 2.5.
Can we talk about my man?
My bad, Joe. I didn't refresh my browser. 2.5 games out.
Real quickly.
So, shout out Portland.
Can we talk about my man Jason Tatum turning into a system player? Like, what is going on with my man?
Chill. We've been talking about that. This isn't new.
Turning into, or like,
but you said there's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with being a system player?
Nothing is wrong with that at all. But I feel like when I watch him, because all guys are system players, but this guy, he looks like the go screen, pass. Like there isn't anything aggressive about him. Even when he has to be, he still is within what's going on. And don't get me wrong, you do have to deviate from the system to be productive sometimes, because sometimes the system doesn't work and you got to do other things. But I feel like he's relying heavily on the system more than he is on himself. And with that, it's making him look, I'm not going to say average, but he just doesn't look elite like he used to. He doesn't. And I'm trying to figure out, like, what's going on with him?
Chill. I've been telling you this for the last 2 years, and you guys think I'm a Jason Tatum hater. No, hear me out. Hear me out. No. Here's my thing. I consistently said that Jason Tatum, when it comes to just skill, talent, and all of that, he's damn near top 3 in the league. And when it comes to just your overall package and what he has and what he can do, he got the size, he got the athleticism, he got the strength, he got a mid-range game when he decides to go to it. He can shoot the 3 ball, he got a bag, he can handle the ball, he'll go and dunk on you. Stuff. He can even get on the block and post you up. You guys tell me he's one of the best defenders in terms of versatility and all of that. So he can do everything. My only problem with Jason Tatum is between the ears. You are a killer. Go kill. Sometimes he decides not to be a killer. Sometimes he decides to shoot pull-up threes when Jason Tatum, go dunk on somebody. Jason Tatum, go put somebody in the rim. Jason Tatum, go body somebody and get an N1. And he will do these things, and he'll show you that he can. I just don't think he does it enough. Imagine Jason Tatum with SGA's aggression and mindset. I'm going at you every single possession. You can't stop me. I'm cooking you every time I touch this rock.
And I've seen him do that before.
Damn near be the best player in the NBA.
And I've seen him do that before. It's just that watching him now, he just looks like he's there. He just looks like he's one of the guys.
What if that's just who he is? Like, what if that's just who Tatum is? Like, what if that's just him? Well, he's not going to be that alpha dog, clear cut, like a Jokic SGA, where I know I'm going to walk into a building and I'm going to get 30 to 40 points a night. What if that's just who he is? He's still
shown that he's still
taking 20 shots a game. It's not like the thing with the Tatum discourse. It's like, it's not like he's not shooting. He's still taking 20 shots. What if it's just who he is, where he's really good, but he's not that we think he should be?
He's not Jokic. Right?
He's
That's
not
blue.
like that.
I never put him in that
player.
category
of
of being that good. No, I've never said that.
Transcendent generational players,
No,
but
I never said that about
But
him.
Morris could be.
I also think
And he should be.
I disagree with you. I don't think he could be.
He has every single thing that you need to be a generational. How is Shea a generational player and he's not?
That's what I'm trying to say with Ron. It's like, what if that's just who he is? Because he is super talented. You're saying he's just not like an SGA. It's like, why though? Why is he not that? Because you look at his skill set.
I don't think he's great at anything. I think he's really good at everything. I don't think he's great at anything. I don't think he's a generational player, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think he's one of the best players in the NBA, but I think you end up being disappointed because you think he can be so much more. When in reality,
because he's shown it to me. That's why.
Yeah,
that's why.
I mean, Jalen Green showed me for 8 games he could be a superstar, but
no, not for 8 games.
It's a different
Jason Tatum is not. Jason Tatum is not a flash in the pan. No, he's not. He's not been back.
I'm saying Jason Tatum is capable of exploding, but that doesn't mean that he could just be that on a night-to-night basis. I think he's an elite player.
When's the last time Tatum showed you what LeBron did last night?
30 every night. That's not how averages work.
Well, yeah, what if Tatum's just not good enough?
Obviously, but I'm saying like he showed us that season that he can do that.
But what's he averaging this year? Like 28?
Like 26, 27.
27.
Like 20, like he's averaging like 26 for the last 5 years, but that doesn't mean like on a consistent basis.
That's who he is anyway, though. Let's be clear about that. That's who he is.
Don't tell you what someone is every night. The only person who that really applies to is like Shea, because like every night he just seems to get 30. But like with Jason Tatum's great. I think some of it is Joe Mazzulla is just they're playing different. Like Jaylen Brown's getting more pick and roll possessions, more isolations. Derek White's getting more on ball reps. So like they're playing different, which I think is in the pursuit of getting other guys comfortable doing different things for a potential playoff run, where you can just be like Jason Tatum, just fit in where you fit in, and you'll still be effective and you'll still be our best player, which is once again a testament to how good Jason Tatum is. Because once you win a championship and you got to keep getting better and you haven't made major acquisitions, that means you got to develop the players in-house. Jaylen Brown is getting more on-ball reps than he's ever got. That's probably a conscious decision by Joe Mazzulla and the coaching staff, so that in the playoffs, Jaylen Brown can take some of that offensive responsibility. Yeah. Derek White is running more pick and rolls more than ever, because in the playoffs, we're probably going to need Derek White to have this extra ball.
Which I don't like at all.
Which in the short term might not be great in the regular season, which is why they might be struggling. Because you are going away from Jason Tatum.
But I don't get why Jason Tatum can't be a...
might be beneficial. So like,
I'm agreeing with Ron.
I'm not looking at it and be like, oh, Jason Tatum's not this guy. I think some of it is coaching. Some of it is they're actively going.
That's what I think it is. I do.
Development. And some of it is Jason Tatum.
Why does Tatum get that kind of a pass though?
He doesn't get that pass. No.
People are saying
I agree with that. I agree with that too.
Morris is giving him the pass right now.
Yeah, Morris is giving him that pass.
And Chill gives him a pass. And Chill gives him a pass 5 out of the 7 days out of the week, and the 2 days is the days he's not on the panel.
Can we stop?
That's not true.
I
just brought up. I'm sitting here.
I just don't get why.
Swiper, you had asked the question.
That doesn't mean I'm excusing it from happening. I'm just saying.
I don't get why.
I just feel like this is
can be it, but Tatum can't.
Because they're different players. I guess I'm asking genuinely, when's the last time you've seen Tatum just completely take over a game like LeBron did last night, Chill? Just
against Philly when they were down 20. Like, I watched 4 days
ago. Yes,
right. And again, I'm asking questions. Y'all been talking this whole time. I'm just trying to get affirmative questions. Sure, no problem. It's a one question in a dialogue, so hush. What I'm saying is, I think Tatum in and out can wade between being a high-end, top-end player, and then his floor though is demonstrably lower than his peers. But even for Drench asking, why can't he do what SGA is doing? I think they're functionally different people. And I think 100% that they're functionally different in how they approach the game. I think SGA, whatever it is about his system, it makes him a primary engine where he's constantly in attack mode. Tatum just doesn't exist in that lane. But Tatum also exists in like he's always there. Like he's always around doing something, but he's just not, and he's not the initiator.
But Swiper, you know the difference between him and SGA? I think the difference between their two games is SGA is more willing to shoot that comfortable pull-up. I don't think Tatum has a comfortable shot. He
does play more in the mid.
He doesn't go to it though, but he doesn't go to it like SGA.
But I think to his point though, Tatum's not SGA. He's not Durant. He's not SGA. He's not Durant. He's not Luka. He's not LeBron. He's not Embiid. They all have go-to shots.
He doesn't have that,
and I think that's what Tatum doesn't have, like a go-to that.
And that's what I'm saying.
That's incredible. That's incredible that a guy doesn't have. That's incredible that a guy doesn't have a go-to move or a go-to shot. Yet I'm 27 and that.
No. But that sets him apart. Yeah, chill. That sets him apart from other people. No, because all the people we just mentioned, Jokic post up is the most efficient shot and dangerous shot in basketball. SGA pull up, the most efficient shot from the mid range in basketball. And Kevin Durant pull up, face up, one of the most difficult shots to deal with in basketball. A LeBron James drive, a Giannis drive, LeBron James pull up 3 at this point. And there are things you can tap into. But Tatum, but the issue, chill. Tatum is not elite at any of those things enough to where you're doing everything you can to keep him off that spot. With SGA, you know where he's going, but you can't do anything about it. I'm either driving to the rim or I'm getting to 10 to 12 feet away from you, and I'm getting that little fadeaway midi from the baseline to the nail or to the other baseline, and it's money. That's what I'm saying.
Tatum go-to shot can't be a dribble, sidestep, step back at the top of the key for a three.
He's not good enough shooter for that.
And that cannot be. And he does. And to me, he doesn't have to do it. Like, dude, just get to a spot. You're what? Tatum is what, 6'9"?
6'9".
Okay, bro. Get to a spot and master the spot. He wants to master these difficult shots. And I'm not saying, like, obviously what Tatum averages 28 a game and he shoots at a good percentage for it. I'm not saying like he does, like, chill. I agree. He has all of the attributes to do those things.
All of that stuff.
I think the shot selection, the degree of difficulty he wants to take for a shot selection is what my problem is with him. And that's why when Ron said, why can't Tatum be SGA? I agree. He can be that. I just think I don't know if it's just the coaching. I think it has a lot to do with the coaching. I think their philosophy is more mathematically to try to win the game rather than just playing the game off a field. Because Shea plays off a field. Like, Tatum doesn't play off a field. It looks like Tatum. I'm trying to explain. It looks like Tatum is it looks like Tatum is just trying to like do something because the coach said we need to shoot this amount of threes. It's like somebody gave him a sheet and said, hey, Tatum, you need 10 threes tonight because if we shoot 10 threes, the percentage of getting a long rebound is this, that, and that. Because there's no way he take these difficult shots and okay with it. Now, SGA on the other end, everything is a feel. There's some analytics in there, like at the end of the clock, 2 for 1, cool. But most of SGA game is straight field. Yes,
he's forcing the issue.
Tatum is from the time the tip off goes. It looks so analytical. It looks like, Tatum, you're shooting 48% when you're above the break and you catch the ball right here. We need you to let those go more. And there's no feel to Tatum game. It looks all forced. It looks all just not genuine.
It doesn't seem forced to me more than it's to your point about a list. All right, that's what it looks like to me. And I'm not going to do anything else. Even when this, and this doesn't work, I'm not going to do anything else. I'm just going to stick to this, and this. And I'm not awesome consistently at this, and this. And on top of that offense, which is a lot of ball movement, a lot of action, a lot of pick and roll, a lot of mismatch hunting, which they have, which should be conducive to your game. Because I think you're a damn good one-on-one player. I don't think you're a good one-on-one player. I think you're a damn good. Yeah, I think you're a damn good one-on-one player. And the mismatch hunting that they do, like he'll get the ball. They run this one play specifically where the reason why they're able to get the switch is because of the screens. So when Tatum screens, I don't know, let's just say he screens Karis LeVert. He screens Karis LeVert and gets that switch. He'll get that switch, and instead of going after him, he'll get off the ball. The reason why we're getting that switch is for you to go after him.
But that's why we're doing that. But also that's a part of the game that the Celtics do way too much. And that's what I'm saying about this sheet of paper with these numbers on it. Like, SGA is a hell of a player. They might not start. They might, and I'm not saying they don't do it throughout the game, but I'm saying like deliberately trying to switch hunt to hunt those switches fourth quarter. The rest of that, they're playing off a field. The Celtics look like they're trying to do everything you're supposed to do late in the game, all game long. That's what the Celtics are like from the tip off. Oh, get that switch on him. Get that switch on him. Oh, it's not there. Get that switch on him. Keep switching. Step back.
Well,
and it's like
I don't want
that shit is annoying.
Well, wait a minute. I don't want to go away from that because what worked late in the game should work early in the game. And
yeah, but that's not the feel of the game. But chill.
That's exactly
we are
what the feel of the game is.
No, but that's not the feel of the game because we are basketball players. Like at the end of the day, basketball players got to get in the rhythm. We get in the rhythm by doing things that we've been doing our whole life, which is hooping. Like always need a feel for the game, not hey, you're in this corner, shoot it. Hey, like I don't know how many basketball players can get off on that.
So what I'm saying, though, Jordan, is like you just said, the feel for the game. So if I got a feel for the game and this 17-footer is working early, well, that 17-footer should be working late because I'm in a rhythm, to your point, right? So
what if the 17-footer is not working and we keep trying it?
But the difference is that we got a plan. I mean, that's the idea of playing. You have to have a plan. We go to this, and if this doesn't work, okay, we go to this. We have a contingency plan. So with that being said, the Boston Celtics, they always have counters because they don't expect everything to work. No, if this doesn't work,
I don't know if they have counters. I don't know if they have counters, Chill.
But they 100% have counters.
Chill, they will shoot the air out the ball and not make nothing. They would just keep shooting it.
And their counter
what is the counter?
Well, their counter is their defense to speed the game up and get to the rim. That's one of their counters. Their other counter is mismatch hunting, like we just talked about. So
that's not that's what I'm saying. That's not a good counter. That's not a good counter.
Yes, it is. And the reason why
when you don't have a rhythm, how? What are we mismatch hunting? We don't have a rhythm. We just shot 43s. We didn't make any, and we don't have a rhythm.
Here's the difference, though, Jordan. That's not our only shot. Like I just told you, when we're mismatch hunting, I watch Porzingis get in the mid post, and I watch him get in the mid range. Where we get a mismatch with him, now we go to him. Now we get some type of rhythm there. So now, also, when I get Porzingis begging for the basketball in the post, that's something to get us going, as opposed to us just standing on the long ball line, which they do that, but they also do other things too. And these are the same things as they do in the meat and potatoes of the game, which gives them a rhythm. The point that I'm making with the Celtics is with Jason Tatum in particular. I've seen him be great in stretches. To Mars's point, they were down 26 points to Philly. They weren't in the hole. They were down 26 points to Philly, and he turned it on, knocked down the mid range, step back threes, pull up dribbles, getting to the rim and getting and ones. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, this is the guy that I know who can do this regularly. Why isn't he doing it? Why is he going away from this? Why am I seeing this from him on a Sunday and then on a Wednesday he looks completely different?
Let's make that point though, Chill.
Because I've seen him play against.
Chill. Let's make that point. What you just said. I want you to just stop right there. You said down 26. You know what players do when they down 26? Fuck the system. Let's just play. That's what they do. They just play. They get in a rhythm like that.
On in Boston. Boston still.
But I'm saying.
I know what
I'm saying with Tatum. I'm saying maybe not the team, but I'm saying Tatum. So for example, the Rockets aren't a good shooting team. We all know that. But they're hard to beat. Number one, because of their defense. They do generate parts on their defense, but they still play the offensive game. A lot of their game, even Dylan Brooks, rhythm. He gets in a rhythm. He can make a lot of shots, and I've seen him do it. I've seen him wait to see what they're gonna do. He catch the ball. Now he's bumping, fade away. I've seen Dylan Brooks shoot some shots. You're like, damn, how he shot that? Because he's in rhythm. They're not playing by a system. Like, oh, I'm pretty sure they have a game plan. Like, oh, we want to make this shot, but it doesn't. And now they're getting a rhythm, and now they just playing. That's hard to beat. Sure. The Celtics will stick with one game plan. And to your point, it worked. They won a championship. But what I'm saying is,
they're the reigning champs. They're the reigning champs. 20 games.
Yeah, but it's a new season.
But it's a new season, though. The game plan every single day of the week.
But I'm not because no team.
6 games back from the 1 seed. They just
listen. They're not the Warriors. They're not the Warriors. They're beatable.
We're talking about how the system affects Tatum. Like,
let's go back to
Tatum. Whether the system works in general is not really relevant.
Tatum is obviously playing in the system. The thing what Chill's trying to say is, why can't Tatum? He does it on Sunday, but he does it on Wednesday. Part of it's because of the system. I will say, I feel like when I watch teams, like, is Mazzulla like kind of coaching this out of him? Because I also saw Tatum when he came in the league. He was shooting a lot of mid-range jumpers. Now
that was his game.
Now it feels like it's a lot of threes. Part of it's like a
lot of step back threes.
But my second part is too. It's like this guy just who Tatum is. We're like 8 years.
Why though? Why? No, why? Why would we just assume that when I think the whole team play like that?
I don't think it's an assumption.
He's not going to be.
The evidence is just saying
part of it's because of the system, and we were talking about the difference between Tatum and SGA. Well, the Thunder system kind of relies more on SGA. The Celtic system relies on Jason Tatum. Same with the Nuggets system. They rely more on Nikola Jokic. And the Celtics system relies on Jason Tatum. You said, like, oh, Tatum, sometimes he looks like a guy out there. He's kind of floating. Well, because, Tatum can have, like, I saw a game the other day. Tatum was like 0 for 7, and they're still hanging in the balance. And I'm like, because they're really good. But it's also kind of Tatum hit. He's not that consistent, great player. Because the MVP level, top 3 players in the world, top 5 players in the world, every single night, I'm boom, boom, boom. I'm not taking a day off. My issue with Tatum, by the way, he's taking 20 shots.
I don't think he's taking a day off.
That's a damn good player. He's just not consistently.
But if your impact, I think this is where it is though. If your impact is mostly determined by how many shots you are or not making, I think that also shows a story about how you're impacting the game. I think I can say SGA beyond the just making shots, impacting the game at a higher level than Tatum is. Jokic beyond taking or making shots is more impactful to me than anyone else.
You rely more on them too, though.
Giannis beyond making shots, I think there are things that he does that it's just greater. Like Tatum is his value while he's being a tremendous off-ball player. I think that's important. He's also not a good enough defensive player to put him in AD conversation. Like when AD's not making shots, AD is still AD, right? Like he's still having like a very impactful value on the game. Rudy Gobert doesn't make any shots, and he can be the best player on the floor. Tatum, I think he so much of what he is based on how his jumper is going. And if his jumper's not going, it's like he's just floating.
But it shouldn't even be his jumper though, Swiper. It should just be his game.
I don't agree. I think Tatum has been Boston's like most consistent defender and playmaker this year. I think his
and their best player.
Yeah, but obviously, but that goes without saying. But I think his impact goes way beyond whether or not he's scoring or not. I just think Jason Tatum's best skill set is viewed as his scoring. So when he's not scoring well, I think people just paint him as if he had a bad game.
Because he does a whole lot of other things really good.
I think Jason Tatum's having the best playmaking year of his career. I think defensively, he's been the most consistent defender they've had on the roster this year, who's played like heavy minutes. So like I think he's impacting the game in all of those ways, and I think him fitting within that system, even though I don't think it's the most beneficial system to him. I said this on my podcast a few weeks ago that I think the system caters more to Jaylen Brown's skill set than it does to Jason Tatum's. But like I think he just fits in so well, and I've given him credit. I think he's the most versatile player in the NBA. I think he can play in a multitude of different roles because he's so good at so many things. I just think the reason I don't view him as the Jokic, definitely not a Jokic Giannis type, all-time transcendent player, is because he doesn't have that singular skill, that elite all-time great skill. Steph Curry shooting, LeBron James driving, Jokic playmaking, Giannis downhill threat. Like he doesn't have that single generational transcendent skill. And that's not a knock on him. Like very few players in NBA history have a transcendent skill. And Jason Tatum not having that isn't a bad thing. It's just that I think that's the reality of the situation, where I don't think he's ever going to be able to be as good as those guys, but I do think he could be better if he was in a system that benefited more to his skill set, as opposed to him having to fit into a system that is really good and really effective, but it doesn't maximize Jason Tatum. And then that comes down to, does Jason Tatum want to maximize success while being in a system that I think does that, or maximize his individual skill set and his individual goals, which can also lead to success, which I think would happen in a different system.
He's just not good
enough.
I
disagree with Ron's idea that
it's not that he's not good enough, Casual. Stop saying that. Stop saying that, man.
I mean, it depends on what you're saying good enough for. Do you think he's good enough?
What do you mean good enough for?
Tatum's great. Tatum's a top 10 player. When I say good enough, like that tier 1, like I know, like the Giannis, SGA, Luke, like tier 1, because I'm seeing like 5 for 12, 17 points. Tatum has
like he looked real average last night, Cash. He looked like
and I'm going to piggyback on what Mars said. He just doesn't have that. Something in his offensive weaponry where it's like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday,
it's
Wednesday.
This right here.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Right there.
I rely on that.
I don't think he's soft. I just don't think he got enough dogs in him.
There's nights.
Yo, but Ron, what Casual was just trying to sell us when he just named those top tier guys. And now, mind you, I understand that this season I said I got SGA over Jason Tatum, but the statement you just made, like, oh, he doesn't have this, doesn't have that. We've seen Jason Tatum have big playoff series, big playoff games. We've seen Jason Tatum take it to Giannis. We've seen Jason Tatum take it to everybody put in front of him.
KD, Bron, everybody.
Except for maybe Jimmy Butler. But besides that, besides that though, yo, we have seen Jason Tatum do these things. Now, I love the fact that Jason Tatum is okay with being on a team where he has to play in a system with a bunch of other really good players, to where it doesn't emphasize him as one of the greatest players ever. You sometimes you'll run into a guy like Jason Tatum and might have too much of an ego for something like this. Well, I need my own team. I gotta be by myself so I can show everybody I can average 35 and 10, which he can do, which he can 100% average 35, maybe 32.
I think
35.
he would have done it by now.
Well,
he was averaging 30 earlier this year.
Well, no, I'm just saying on a different team. On a different team in a different system.
You can't just say, oh well, if he could have done it, he would have done it by now.
Well,
everybody. Well, no, because it's not. That's not good. We've had this conversation before. There's a lot of people in the NBA that can average 30 plus points per game, but that's not good for winning basketball.
You said like
that's
30
not okay. Well, whatever.
But you don't
I think you get what I'm saying without us coming to a specific number. I think you get what I'm saying. Everybody, there's a lot of people in the NBA that can average a gang of points, but that's not winning basketball. That's not good for the team. Jason Tatum, 100% has. I commend him for his ability to be on a team like this and be a team player without hijacking the team, hijacking the offense every chance he gets. So, for you to try to sell us that he's just not on the level of some of these guys, and then throw. Okay, all right, yeah, you can, but just one say you can, but SGA, but to throw SGA in there, who's been at this level for a couple of seasons, and he's just now getting to what Jason Tatum has been for 5 seasons already. I think that's disingenuous.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
I disagree with that last part, but overall,
I agree with that last part too.
Okay, I think you get the gist of what I'm saying.
Can I respond? I think he missed what he said to the point where I'm not saying Tatum doesn't have it like, oh, he can go on because I saw him in Philly. I've seen it when he took it. Giannis, he had like 40 in a playoff game. I'm not saying he can't do it on a night. What I'm trying to say is I feel like I don't think he has it in him to do it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, to be that tier 1 player. Because how many games have I seen from Tatum this season where, man, is he 5 for 20 with like 12 points? Would you ever see that he doesn't do consistently, but many times throughout a season from Giannis, from SGA, from Luka, from Jokic? You would never see that for them. They wouldn't give you this many games like Tatum is. Part of it's because Tatum feels like he doesn't have to have those nights because the system is so good, but it's like he's just not consistently dominant. I don't know what it is. He's just not consistently dominant to be that special player that
I
people
think he is, though.
want him to be. I don't want Tatum to be that player. I know he just doesn't have it.
But that's not based.
Ox, you made a really interesting point. I'm sorry, really quickly. But Ox, you made a really interesting point there, and I commend a guy for being a team guy, right? I commend a guy for being a team guy and operating within the system, which is conducive to us winning. I just watch him and I think to myself, he's better than this. I know he's better than this.
Well, chill.
I don't understand.
How are you giving him a pass and then saying
I'm not giving him a pass? No, Ron.
I respect the guy for acknowledging the system, but he's better than the system. So which one is it?
No, I think he. No. You, whoa. Stop right there, Ron. This is right. 2 things can be true, and you don't have to.
So I respect you for underperforming, but you need to perform better.
No, that's not what he said. He said he respects him for honoring the system, but he can also be better. That's what
he still went 5 for 12.
He could be a better player than what he is within the system. That's what I'm thinking. And when I watch him, I'm like, he can do more than what he's already doing. I'm an example of the play that I just brought up. When they run action for him, he gets a screen and he's right at the top of the key, and he's got 1-on-1 in front of whomever he's in front of. We ran this specifically for you. And instead, he'll scan the floor, he'll look at the defense, then get off the ball. And I'm thinking to myself,
system, chill. That's what he's doing.
And I'm thinking to myself, we ran this for you. We ran this action for you to do something.
But why are they running that at the top of the key all the time, though?
Like, because it works. Why do you think they're running it, Jordan? Because it works.
No, but
they do it for.
I mean, they run stuff for him to get the ball at the elbow or the mid post.
Yes.
Or the free throw line.
Let's do that more than we do it at the top of the key, though.
Well, I don't know.
So he don't go 5 for 20.
I'm not keeping count, but I do think like the efficiency point to Casual's point about like Tatum's just more liable to have those really inefficient games.
He is. That's my problem.
Yeah, I think that's just an objective fact. But like when you shoot as many threes as Jason Tatum does, you're more liable to have inefficient games. That's just the reality of the situation.
I was gonna say that too.
If Giannis manages to go 5 for 20 on all layups, I'm not gonna lie, then something's going wrong. Like it's just when is Giannis gonna shoot below 50%?
Can we stop shooting the sidestep threes then? Like, can we stop?
Okay, and
that's what I'm talking about right there.
Then we come back full circle to the issue of Jason Tatum's shot diet, which, like, I think
shot diet too.
I think everyone's in a pretty strong agreement that Jason Tatum is not as good of a 3-point shooter to justify the 3-point shots.
100%.
Where the disagreement comes from is I just don't think he's that good of a mid-range shooter to justify the amount of mid-range shots you guys want him to take. So, like, the issue I have with Jason Tatum as a scorer is I don't think he really generates consistent offense for himself from anywhere. That's my issue. Like, his pull-up three isn't consistent. He's not a very consistent driver. When he gets downhill, he can finish, and he's actually quite strong. And in fact, I probably want him to drive more to finish, but
that's my thing, Morse.
Yeah.
I think he can get to the rack a whole lot better.
In terms of being able to get to the rim consistently and finish, I think he could do that more. But in the mid-range, I don't view him as a very consistent scorer. In terms of being a face-up player or a post-up player, I think he's good at hunting mismatches and scoring on mismatches. But in terms of just throughout the flow of a game, do I want 5-6 Jason Tatum post-ups? Probably not. So, like,
I do.
What's better than that for this in the Celtics offense? What's better than that?
I don't.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Ron, because
to be honest, but anyway.
Well, right now it's a lot with the offense that Joe Mazzulla has running, which Jason Tatum has bought into. I think if you ran different looks for Jason Tatum, I would like to see Jason Tatum operating off that baseline a little more, coming from one side of the floor, catching the ball on the other side of the floor, maybe getting a mismatch in that action, catching that ball in the short corners, opening up, going to work right there, quick actions, shooting mid ranges off the dribble, maybe getting to the middle of the paint, getting right there in front of the rim. Those type of shots, shooting open 3 balls instead of the step back threes. The casual point.
The one-on-one,
I hate those just as much as you do.
We're all in agreement.
We all hate those. I think we can all agree on that. But I would love to get Jason Tatum on mismatches, flex cuts, all of those types of looks from the wing, from the baseline, at the nail, catching, ripping through, going to the basket from the 3-point line, or get smaller guys, picking on bigger guys, all that. I think Jason Tatum would thrive in that type of action. That's just not what Joe Mazzulla is running.
Hold on to your point. To your point, because I was going to say this. But this is what I was going to say though. And this is what I brought up with you earlier. To that point, what Ox is saying, when he's shooting all those threes and he's missing them, obviously some days he's going to make them. But let's just only focus on when he's missing them. Right? He shoot 10 threes a game. Okay, he's 2 for 10. 2 for 12 sometimes. So now when he shoot those mid-range shots, he's not in the rhythm. So it looks bad because he's not in the rhythm because of the shot diet. But like Ox, just all the action that Ox just said, let's prioritize that action before we prioritize this 10 threes. And I bet you will see a way better Jason Tatum from the mid-range. But it's so hard to, like to Mars' point, Mars says he doesn't think he's that good in the mid-range. I could probably agree with you because that's from what you've seen. But what I'm saying is, they prioritize them 3-point shots more than they prioritize these easy shots for Jason Tatum. And I'm saying, let's say on the paper, let's say Joe Mazzulla brought the paper to him and said, Tatum, you only got 4 threes today, bro. I just want you to shoot 4 threes. I bet you he find a way to get, but I bet you he find a way to get 30 still from the mid-range because he's going to go to the free throw line a lot more. I don't think he goes to the free throw line nearly enough. Like Luka Doncic can shoot horrible from 3.
It's due to lack of aggression.
13-3. Yes, he's going to shoot 13 free throws if Luka Doncic is going 0 for 7 from 3. Tatum is not doing that because of the shot diet and the shots that they want him to shoot. To me, yes, y'all won, but y'all not the Warriors. The Celtics is not a dangerous team like the Warriors to go back and do the same thing over and over again. Even the Warriors had
the Warriors have the dimension of that mid-range face-up game that the Celtics don't.
Yeah, the Warriors shot a lot of mid-range shots too.
It seems like we're all in agreement. We're just coming like the conclusion is the same. Either Jason Tatum isn't being benefited by the system to maximize him, which everyone seems to be in agreement on. Jason Tatum sidestep threes. None of us want to see it.
Nope.
Where I think the disagreement is, and I think me and Casual are probably closer to the same side on this as opposed to everyone else. I just don't think Jason Tatum is as good as you guys think. I think he would be more effective with the offense you guys are suggesting. And I agree with you. I think where you get him those mid-post touches or you get him on flex cuts where you get mismatches and all of those things. I agree with Ox. And I think I've said that before. Like Jason Tatum would benefit more with more of those opportunities. But the difference between that and like what we're talking about with other players is we're talking about getting Jason Tatum more opportunities all over the floor in terms of to maximize him. He still doesn't have that singular spot that he can go to anytime and it's just easy money. We can give him his back to the basket against Darius Garland in the post. That's going to be beneficial. Then we can put him in the mid post or at the elbow, and we can use him as a playmaker or even as a scorer. Or we can have him facing up at the free throw line, and that's beneficial. Or we can have him running pick and roll, and that's beneficial. He can be effective at a bunch of different things. But at the end of the day, what are we going to go to for Jason Tatum? Whether it's a late game, one possession game, whatever. And we know this is automatic, like a KD elbow jumper.
I think, but Mars, I think we figured that out.
At the top of the key. What is that for Jason?
Mars? I think we figured that out. I think we figured that out if we do the things that you just brought up. All the things, like, I think we figure what his go-to shot is if we take out the diet of these badass threes. Because Shea doesn't do that. So the only, like I said,
how did we find out? Wait. Stop right there. How did we find out? How did we find out what Shea was, though? How did we find that out?
Because I'm
not
saying
that simple, casual.
But this is what I'm. But this is what I'm saying, Chill.
What I'm thinking with Shea is that we found out, to Ox's point, we put him in spaces where he was the most effective. And what Shea did was Shea decided, putting him in those spaces where he was the most effective, this is what I'm good at. This is what I'm the best at, and I'm going to keep doing this. Shea has always been, since I watched him over the last 2 years, Shea is not going to let you off the hook with bad shots. If you're going to give him a mid-range, if you're going to give him a mid-range shot, I'm going to shoot this all night. And why? Because I found out that this is where I live.
And Mars is asking, what are those so many?
Here's what I'm saying. I found out that this is where I live. Why? Because this is where they put me. This is the space that they put me in. The difference with the Boston Celtics is the Boston Celtics are a heavy long ball shooting team. It's not Jason Tatum is a heavy long ball shooting guy. This is don't forget, they shoot 53s a game. It's not just Jason Tatum. That's the whole crew shooting 53s a game.
He shoots 10 of them, but
he's shooting 10 of them, right?
And he's a part of that. To put SGA,
some nights he's shooting 15, 12.
To put SGA in spaces where he's the most effective within the system, and he finds out this is where I'm the most effective. That's where he finds out where his go-to is. That's where he finds out.
That's what I'm saying with Tatum, though.
This is where I'm the most effective.
Yeah,
when you're in this system when you're in this system in Boston, where all we're doing is cracking the long ball. Casual, you said it yourself. When Jason Tatum first showed up, where was he the most effective?
Well, he was a mid-range player.
Right.
That's who he was. He
hold on. Stay right there.
SGA level mid-range, he was just shooting for the mid-range.
But Chill, stay right there, though. Chill, stay right there, because you're making a great point. And this is the point that I was making about the sheet of paper. You know why the difference between SGA and Tatum? Okay. Tatum, the Boston Celtics want to take advantage of him at the 4 spot sometimes. They want to put him there, so they want him matched up against some bigs. So we put Tatum at the 4 spot. We go pick and pop. We want Tatum to shoot that 3 because we think he's a pretty decent 3-point shooter. So the computer says give him more 3-point opportunities and it should work. Problem with that is he's not like Mars says, he's not a generational 3-point shooter. So it doesn't work that much.
Where do you want him to go?
I want him to play basketball like he knows how to play basketball. Basketball players play off of feel.
He's saying feel the game. So if the defense is giving me space, shoot the ball. But the defense doesn't just give Jason Tatum open
shoot that shot every time.
If you have a smaller defender, take advantage of that smaller defender by taking them down to the deep waters.
There you go.
If you have a big on you, okay, catch the ball at the 3-point line and go downhill on that big.
Rather than looking at the sheet of paper on and saying,
if you are going downhill and somebody cuts you off, snatch back, get to your step back, and shoot a step back mid-range shot.
Okay, but
build a game.
But what is
isn't that basketball 101?
Because we're putting too much.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree in a sense.
That's what I'm saying.
System here, but also if you look at Tatum's 3-point attempts, he's had 3 different head coaches, and they've gone up. We can't just blame Mazzulla because they went up with Brad Stevens. They also went up with Udoka.
Casual. That's what I'm saying. Casual. It's the sheet of paper.
Like what if this?
It's the sheet. Also, he's at a rough spot in a league where he creates so many advantages and like the league values big man shooting. The league values big man shooting. I'm not saying he's a big man shooter, but I'm saying he's 6'9" and they can play him at the 4 spot, so they can use him as a floor spacer. Even Porzingis is a 5 spacer too, so they kind of putting him in these positions to where they're playing a chess move based on numbers, not off field. Numbers work sometimes, but the game of basketball has always been played off of field. That's why in the playoffs, teams don't really shoot. Or that's why Austin Day said it the best when he said that mid-range shot is a bad shot. And he said, yeah, it is a bad shot until you got to shoot it in the playoffs because that's what they're doing off of field. Like they do it off a field. Nobody's going into the playoffs and
You make
saying,
it sound like
shoot
Tatum's
my
like
mid-range shot right here.
Mid-range though. You keep bringing up the mid-range. Like
it's not about him being a sniper. That's not what I'm saying.
They're saying, hey, let me do my job of translating what.
Right. Okay.
After Mars does this, Swiper, I know you raised your hand, so I want to hear what you had to contribute to this conversation.
It sounds like I think everyone is on the same page of right now. Jason Tatum doesn't have a consistent go-to that's reliable, that we know this is what he can do anytime. What Jordan and Chill are saying is we have to find that, and the way in which we find that is by putting him in these different spots that are probably going to be more beneficial to him. Maybe it's not a mid-post isolation. Maybe it is a baseline isolation. Maybe it's him seeing the floor at the free throw line. We don't know what it is, but right now we know what's going on right now. This is not it. So we know we need to pivot from that. And maybe it is something else. Maybe there is nothing. But until we've explored all options, we can't just say there's nothing without exploring the possibility of something. And you're saying right now he's not a good mid-range shooter. The percentages say that, yada, yada, yada. But when are we? This is why percentages in a vacuum don't tell the whole story. How many of Jason Tatum's mid-range attempts they're not manufactured in terms of this is what the intention of the possession was, as opposed to I couldn't get the three I wanted, we couldn't get a layup. I now have to take a mid-range shot that I'm not comfortable in. I'm not in rhythm. I'm taking a one dribble pull-up that wasn't what the possession was meant to have, as opposed to when Kevin Durant's coming off a Carl screen, we know he's going straight into a mid-range jumper. So he's in rhythm. He's prepared for that mid-range shot. As opposed to with Jason Tatum, it's like we're getting a mid-range shot as a last resort.
I do agree in a sense,
which can bring down percentage.
I do agree on the system part. In part, I don't entirely agree on the system, but I agree in part where like I can see it where he is playing the system, and some of his shots do come due to the system either collapsing or he's just shooting in the system. But we have to keep in mind that we do not work for the Boston Celtics. We do not know what's going on behind the scenes. So everything we say, we're just assuming. And what I'm trying to say is he's not a rookie. He's not in year 2. He wasn't drafted by Missoula. He was drafted by Brad Stevens 8 years ago. I kind of want to give the Celtics a benefit of a doubt here and say, don't you think they've probably kind of already tried to explore where he should be on the floor? He's been in the league for 8 years for the same team. You would think maybe 1 year they're like, oh, maybe we should put Tatum here. I want to give him benefit of the doubt because we don't work for the Celtics. Brad Stevens has been that organization the entire time, and he's coached him and then been his general manager. What if he's just like, we've explored it? He's been in the league for 8 years. It's not like he's a rookie.
Yeah, but I don't think so.
Hold on, Jordan. Hold on, Jordan. Hold on. Swiper, you had something that you wanted to say, Swiper.
They practice every day too. It's not like they also he's practiced. They
know who he is. Jordan, they know who he is. It's not like it's a situation where he's a new guy. No, they know who he is. I'm sorry,
Swiper. Talk to us.
No offense. The people who run the Celtics are probably smarter than you and me. So they kind of know what they're doing.
Of course, but it's very easy to see what their intentions are when you go watch the film. It's very easy to see what they're trying to do. Extremely easy.
Well, like I said, Tatum's three-point attempts have gone up every single year. It was at 9 with Ime Udoka.
That's what they want to do.
Part of that is just the style of play in the NBA too. Everybody shot
they want to do.
Have gone up. But Swiper, are you going to get into the conversation or not?
Yeah, go ahead, Swiper.
You don't have to do that. I just simply I think that this is interesting to Mars's point. If he was I think we're trying to put people in general, and I think this comes from a certain place. If Tatum was as good as people would say he is, I don't think these would be conversations, but I think that's the point. I think Tatum is largely, I think he is, for me, like where AD, Jalen Brunson and them, that's about where Tatum belongs. But I think the fourth thing is, why isn't Tatum doing these things? Well, I just don't think he's as good as the players we're comparing him to, respectfully. Exactly. And so I think, but I also think he's one of the best players in the world, and he's going to probably be a multi-time champion, and he's going to be one of the 50 best players ever of all time, but he's just not going to be known as like one of the MVPs like that we've ever seen, like one of the all-time greats, which is perfectly fine. I don't think he's better than Harden at his apex. Harden never won a title. I don't think he's better than Kawhi at his apex. Kawhi has 2 championships. I don't think he's better than Durant. Like, I mean, you can have a conversation with Westbrook and all that stuff. Like, I think Russ at his apex was an extremely good player. He's an MVP player, but like, this is kind of weird. Even now, like LeBron, like I genuinely mean this. Like when I watch LeBron play, even at age 40, like that's a dude that is constantly forcing the issue. But he also learned how to do that really young. So we didn't, and he adjusted and developed his game over time. So I just think that like Tatum is an incredible player, and I think the reason why it sounds like hate on the pushback, even for me, is I think because I genuinely don't think he's in the tier of like the best players in the league. But I also think that he does things that are so important that like he's one of the players you can build your team around to win a championship, because he doesn't have any deficiencies that are that glaring that you can take advantage of on defense or offense. And honestly, if I've said even before this last run a couple years ago, like if Tatum was like, if you could put an ideal player like on your favorite team to be like your number 2 or your 1B, it would be Tatum. Like no question. You would be you would be like if he was in Denver, for instance, and he playing next to Jokic, and like what he would be, like the level that his game would get to in that situation. I think if you played with Embiid, if he played with even with SGA, think about Tatum and SGA. Like,
that would be insane.
He'd be able to work off of them in any situation. They would be an unstoppable duo. Like I think Tatum is that. Like he, for me, is the ultimate adjustment player and chess piece to use on any team. But I just don't think that. Like I think it's unfair. And I think Tatum thinks of himself in best in the world conversations, but I just think genuinely, like if you compare him to his peers, I think that's where you start to get the discrepancies. Like I can't name something that Tatum is like that elite at that I'm going to put him in the apex conversation right now.
Exactly.
Like,
trying to put Jason Tatum in the number 2 role.
I said 1B or number 2.
Fellas, I'm about to step in here though. I want to tell everybody that's watching to like the video, subscribe to Player's Choice. It is Hall of Fame Friday, and I do think we got a Hall of Famer on the way. But even if we don't, I want to show love to Cheese. I want to show love to Multi-Kenny. I want to show love to Vale. I want to show love to J-Hub and Cobra, son of Raditz. Those are the Hall of Famers. Those are the real GOATs of the chat and the real GOATs here on Player's Choice. Salute to them. Make sure you download the PrizePicks app. And fellas, we got a couple things that I want to unpack in this last hour. The All-Star rosters are set, so I want to talk about that. Also, I do want to talk about LeBron's game last night. He is the youngest player to score 40 and the oldest player to score 40. So we'll get into that. But I do want to evolve this conversation just a little bit. We've been talking about Jason Tatum. I just want to ask you guys, do you believe that the Celtics are going to repeat?
No.
Because Chill has told me that these are the dog days of the season, and this is a good reflection in this portion of the season of what you're going to look like come playoff time. And I just don't really see this team that continuously jacks up threes, this team that has kind of been struggling over the last 20, 30-ish games. Mars, you did mention that Jason Tatum did put on a hell of a performance to beat the Philadelphia 76ers earlier this week. But why are you guys down 20 plus points to a Joel Embiid-less 76ers team? Why are you guys stumbling? Why are you guys losing to a Luka Doncic-less or Anthony Davis-less Mavericks team? I watched the dudes get handled on their home court last night.
3 of their starters was out. 3 of them.
Well, ask Jason Tatum.
No, you lose in the regular season sometimes. It happens.
Like, why are you beating the Pelicans by 2 points?
They're a variance team too. I think when you're shooting, like Chill said, I think if the season ended today, they take the most 3-point attempts in the history of basketball in a single season. Per game.
That shit is ridiculous, bro.
They're just a variance. They live and die by the 3. If they miss a lot, they're very susceptible to losing basketball games, and they're very vulnerable. But when they're hitting, I don't think any team on planet Earth is taking them down.
Casual, and I get that part. My thing is they were able to get away with that through the playoffs last year.
Through injuries. I think because of injuries.
I'm going to tell you like this. I don't believe the Cavs are going to let them off the hook with that. I don't believe the Knicks are going to let them off the hook with that. I don't believe when they get to the championship, if they get to the championship, OKC's not going to let them off the hook. Denver's not going to let them off the hook.
Dallas, not even Dallas anymore.
Well, but Ron, with that being said, mathematically, and with the talent on that team, with the talent on that Celtics team, with the defense on that Celtics team,
can't be cold forever.
And mathematically, it's
not nigga L basketball.
No, W basketball with this one because it's basketball. But hold on, Ron, because in one game, that's how it goes. But in a 7-game series, we're gonna beat you. We're gonna beat y'all more often than y'all beat us. Now, in a one-off game, anything can happen in basketball. And we all know that. Everybody knows that up here. In one game, anybody can beat anybody. But in a 7-game series, I got more. I'm more talented. I'm more talented than you.
That's not the case with them this year. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I see you. when it comes to the Cavs, they're not that much better than the Cavs like that.
Better.
They're not.
Okay, but there's more to it. There's more to it than just that, though, Ron. First of all, from top to bottom, we're more talented.
The time they played before.
From top to bottom, we're more talented than you. We're better. We have a very good defense as well, and then we are shooting the shit out of the ball. So if we're making our threes 3 of these games, we're gonna beat you.
Question, Ron.
The Cavs get them up too. So
I got a question.
I can say the same thing for the Cavs.
My question to you,
OKC
Ron,
gets them up too. I can say
as much as OKC gets them up, all these other teams get them up. Ron, I'm asking you a question, Ron, straight up and straight down. Today is May the 20th, and today is May the 3rd, and the Eastern Conference Championship has just started. How are the Cleveland Cavaliers going to beat the Celtics 4 times in a week? I'm listening.
How are they going to beat?
What are they going to do to beat them 4 times in a week? Go.
Well, first off, they have the biggest 2 mismatches in the series with Evan Mobley and Jared Allen.
Okay.
They just have that size advantage.
Mismatch.
No. 2 biggest mismatches. Go, Ron. Keep going.
Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, offensively and defensively in the paint, they can control that series. Okay. And then you have Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell, who are all-star guards, and they can create how they can create. Like that right there in and of itself is mismatches for the Celtics. I'm not saying the Celtics don't have mismatches. You just asked me how I see the Cavs doing that. But also, we talk about depth. The Cavaliers are...
They got 11 guys.
Easy. 100%. And we're talking about shooting it out. Yo, Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell. I got
Mitch showing up?
I got the 3 Musketeers off the bench.
Is Mitch showing up? That's my only question. Is he showing up? Garland's going to show up.
Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum showing up.
Well, I mean, they won championships.
But there's a higher propensity for Tatum than Mitchell for me right now.
Because why is that?
Garland, it's kind of struggling.
And why is that, Swiper?
Well, I mean, I'm not. Mitchell has been, for me. I don't love how he's looked versus like the Thunder. Obviously, different matchup. I don't love. I want to see him get to it this year. I've seen him get to it in the past many times. Sure. I just want to see him get to it this year because they're going to need that top end, high end shot making. I think D-Gar is going to be there this year personally, but I think if Mitchell's going to have to at least be able to be like a legit 1A option, if not like a really solid 1B. He's going to have to make shots. He's going to have to get to the rim. He's going to have to hit his 3-pointers because they're going to over-rotate off of Garland penetration, off of those little Evan Mobley lob, Jared Allen lob, and then they're going to have DeAndre Hunter in the corner. He can dribble off the ball a little bit. Like I just really need to see D Mitch get to it, honestly. But they can win. They can win.
I do want to stay there, but Jordan just said something really
forgot about that.
Ron, I'm not done with you though, Ron. I'm not done with you because Jordan said something really interesting. Jordan, of the championship teams throughout the course of history that have had deep teams, what championship team has shortened their rotation by 4 guys? I'm listening. Because you said 7 guys. They go from an 11-man rotation.
The Miami Heat did it. That's number 1.
What Miami Heat team did it?
I'm talking about the one with LeBron and D-Wade now. About 8 guys play.
They didn't have 11 guys during the course of the season. No, they didn't.
Yes. Okay. Regardless, this is why you think.
No, it's not regardless, Jordan. Because
but hold on. Let me explain it. You think the Cavs is going to play 11?
Yes. The reason why they
are. But I'm going to tell you why they're not going to play. But I'm going to tell you why they're not going to play 11. This is why they're not going to play 11. The 11 guys that they're playing, they're not two-way players. They're special.
Got 11 guys to play in the playoffs.
Yeah,
they're not playing.
Yeah, some of them are specialists. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you one right now. Ty Jerome probably not gonna probably not gonna play a lot.
Yeah, right. Ty Jerome is
no way.
He has to
have to play until they get his ass in a mismatch and destroy his ass. You know what's gonna happen? Get out. Get out.
He's their backup point guard. He has to play.
Well, they also traded 2 of their.
I get what you're trying to say. They're gonna mismatch on him, but he
that's exactly what they're gonna do in the playoffs.
It's not like they can't play.
All of these guys. Look, it's just the same thing, bro. I watch the Rockets do this shit, bro. I watch the guy like
Jordan. You right about that, Ty Jerome. We've seen this a bunch of times where a backup point guard will be playing major minutes in the season and be getting off, and then when the playoffs come, you see this dude for 5 minutes a game. We've seen this year after year after year after year.
He's not.
Let's not. But let's
Clippers did it with Patrick Beverly, bro.
5 to 7 minutes a game. We've seen this chill. We've seen this hundreds of times
I
where
think-
a player does
you guys
produce in the
are
regular
absolutely
season,
right.
and then in the playoffs times we don't hear from the
Well,
dude.
who's going to play for Cleveland if he doesn't? Because they
D mentioned Darius Garland going to have to play a lot more.
I think what you
They're
guys
gonna play 37, 38 minutes.
40 minutes. 40.
Someone's got to
play
play.
30 minutes a game.
Someone's got to play.
Their four all-star caliber players are playing 30 minutes a game.
Yeah,
and there's
we
48
all know
minutes in a
that's going
basketball
up.
game.
Garland.
Like we
right.
all know
So
that's
it's going to go up to how much, Mars? 40, right? 40.
37, 38.
37,
What's going to happen to the bench players, Mars?
Okay,
What's going to happen to the bench players?
Just as that alone, guys in the rotations, minutes are going down or they're getting cut.
There you go.
All right, so
There you go.
let's say they shrink it. Can we agree on some names that they're for sure going to play?
Significantly, Ron.
We know.
Max Strus probably will play.
DeAndre Hunter are going to play.
Okay, those are three guys.
Those three are going to play.
Yeah.
Jerome, I think will be situational in the first round. I think he'll be there when you actually see Boston. I don't know how much he's going to play. I think they will have an 8-man rotation guaranteed in the playoffs with potential to be 9. That's as far as it goes. You're not going to see Sam Merrill in the playoffs. You're not going to see Craig Porter Jr. in the playoffs.
No.
You're never going to see Tristan Thompson. Like all those fringe guys, you're not going to see. You're going to see the 3 wings. You're going to see the 3 wings and maybe Ty Jerome. That's as far as I'm going in terms of.
And Mars, Dean Wade may get a little bit of Dean Wade is not being effective on the defensive end and not rebounding like he's supposed to, and if they go after him, they go. Y'all saying this, I'm telling y'all, bro. The Rockets did the same shit with Ryan Anderson. Ryan Anderson was making that shit that top of the key 3, making all them threes. The playoffs came, he was garbage, and that's
why they didn't win shit, Jordan, because they should have played Ryan Anderson.
The Cavs traded Niang and Karis LeVert for one player. Their playoff rotation is now changed. So, like, some of these guys are like,
changed for Ty Jerome. Yeah, changed for him. And Dean Wade.
DeAndre Hunter will play too.
Yeah, but he's probably.
So Dean Wade doesn't have to play now. Dean Wade doesn't have to play that much.
So their worst wing. That'll cut out their worst wing.
So let me ask you this, Mars. So Mars, I got Jared Allen, heavy minutes. Yes,
of course.
Yeah.
Darius Garland, heavy minutes. Yes,
of course.
Starting 5.
DeAndre Hunter, minutes. Yes.
DeAndre Hunter will be playing for sure. Yep.
Donovan Mitchell, heavy minutes. Evan Mobley, heavy minutes. Okay, these are the 5 guys. So now, Isaac Okoro, yes or no?
Situation if he's knocking down shots.
Yeah.
Okay, Max Strus.
Yeah, he plays.
Max is playing.
He plays.
Max is playing.
For sure, Max is playing.
Max is 100% playing.
Yeah.
Dean Wade.
I expect Dean Wade to play. I expect Dean Wade.
Not with DeAndre Hunter now. I don't.
Dean Wade. Who else did I say? Did I say Max Strus?
You said
Max Strus.
I did say Max Strus. I said Okoro.
Yeah.
Ty Jerome.
Situational.
Okay, so that's 9 guys. So I got Okoro.
Well, two of them are
situational.
Yeah, so I said 7. I got 7 for sure. 2 situations.
So you got 7 consistently, but Ty Jerome. You got 7 consistently, but Ty Jerome, Max Strus, Dean Wade, and Okoro. This is the 9 rotation guys that I have. So Tristan Thompson, he's going to be a cheerleader, right?
Don't be surprised if Tristan gets some spot minutes. I'm not saying he's going to come out and play 20 minutes. I'm not saying he's going to play 20 minutes. He could potentially get some spot minutes. Foul trouble.
Yeah, he might be in there. You need to buy some time.
So guys like
Tristan Thompson might get some minutes, but that's not a rotation player. That's just
right.
I agree.
So guys like stay ready.
So guys like Tyson, nope, he out the rotation.
Ain't no way.
Sam
probably won't touch it.
Sam Merrill not playing. Sam Merrill not gonna play.
So Sam Merrill, so is not playing. So we go from 11 guys to 7 consistent, but 9 situational.
What's the match?
You'll have a 9-man, 9 people you can go to, 7 who you're legitimately gonna be in the rotation, and in any given series you'll probably have 8 guys, and that 8th guy will either be Ty Jerome or Isaac Okoro, depending on needs. That's what I expect to happen in Cleveland, which is great when you have 7 legitimate players and 8
7 legit
you consistent minutes. Yeah, like that, that's still valuable. That's still valuable. But they're not going to be playing 11 players in the playoffs.
No,
it's because it's part of that is because of the fact that in the playoffs, they're going to try to make the role players beat you. And what's going to be crazy is like instead of having because in the playoffs they're going to try to make guys like Dean Wade beat them. So put Dean Wade out there. If Dean Wade goes off for 35 and we lose,
we'll live with it. All right, we'll live with that. Okay, that's
but instead of Dean Wade there, I can put DeAndre Hunter there, who's a little bit more of a threat. If I'm the Cavs, why wouldn't I do that?
DeAndre Hunter's going to start. So
Yeah,
okay, yes,
probably.
Yes, he probably will start. But I'm just saying, in Dean Wade's minutes, regardless,
I'd play my 5 best players.
I'm just saying in his minutes, regardless. Like I don't have to play Dean Wade as much because I have DeAndre Hunter, who can do what Dean Wade can do.
And that's why the trade's so.
And
big.
how many guys in your estimation are the Celtics going to play? Because we got Jaylen Brown.
Well, we know the Celtics. Brown. We know how they rock.
Right. We got Jason
Brown.
Tatum.
Go ahead.
Brown out. We got Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Kristaps Porzingis, Derek White, and Drew Holiday. That's my 5 right there, right?
And you know they're playing
Sam Hauser. Sam Hauser is going to play. Al Horford's going to play.
Pritchard.
Sam Hauser's going to play. Al Horford's going to play. Pritchard's going to play. Cornette's going to play. That's 9 guys.
Cornette's not playing.
Cornette will be situational.
And I think Sam Hauser will be situational too. I think Sam Hauser will be situational.
I think Sam Hauser will play. I think they'll have 8 guys.
No, we're gonna see with Sam Hauser. I think he's gonna be situational too, depending on how the game goes, especially if they go down big because they shots not flowing. So now I got to play Tatum and Brown a lot more. It's just
Sam Hauser would be the one to get his minutes cut if they do go heavy to the starters. But he's still going to be part of the rotation. Like, they got 8 guys. I think they go to 8 guys.
So guys like Tillman aren't going to play. Jordan Walsh ain't playing.
No.
Tillman might play situational, but not a rotational player. He might just come
even though I think Kate should be playing, but I don't think Kate is going to.
The only situation those guys are playing is if Kristaps Porzingis gets hurt. That's the only
foul trouble. And in foul trouble.
But then you bring in Cornette and Kate before you bring in Tillman.
Yeah, exactly.
But like. They got 8. They got Tatum, Brown, White, Holiday, Porzingis, Pritchard, Horford, and Hauser. Is there 8? And then anyone else after that, Cornette would be situational. And then like they just picked up Torrey Craig, who I think would be situational. That's it. Like everyone else is just not gonna play. This is just how it tends to go.
That's just how it goes. I mean, it just from a strategy standpoint, like it doesn't make sense for me to like. In a regular season, you can get by with that because it's 82 games. But in a 7-game series, it doesn't make sense for the other team to not game plan to make your worst players beat you or give your worst players have more opportunities to end possessions. And that's usually what happens. Like we put these guys, and it's not a knock with them being their worst player. That's just factually like you just stay worst player on their team. So I want the worst player on their team to finish the possession. If I'm playing against the Cavs,
probably the worst player on the starting 5. Probably the worst player on the starting 5. I don't think the head coaches are going into game plan like, oh, I can't wait for Pritchard to get in the game.
They do that. Yes, they do. They do that. Yes, they do that.
It's going to be the worst player on the starting 5. That's why Cleveland went to go get Hunter.
You get into the playoffs, you take advantage of the 12 minutes of defensive liabilities.
God, we're going to start.
Yes.
When you get into the playoffs, so you need every advantage. Teams are game planning for when the defensive liability is on the floor.
100%, they do that.
Even if he's only playing 12 minutes a game, they're game planning those 12 minutes to line up with my star.
Because I can cripple your game plan by doing it.
Miles, I 100% agree with that. However, you know what? I'm going to counter that with, you think I don't know that you after my guy? I know that you after my guy.
But you need him. You need him. You need him. That's what I'm saying. You need him.
I know for a fact that you after. Yes, I know
that doesn't even sound like the point that.
Go ahead, Kenny.
My bad, Jim.
Go ahead, Kenny.
Mars, I know you after my guy, and I'm 100% when you saying what Jordan saying, yo, we can't wait for him to get in the game. You think I ain't over there going, I know that they looking for my guy to get in the game.
So what do you do, Q?
I'm gonna have people in there to protect my guy.
No, you're gonna not play him. Chill. You're gonna not play him. You're gonna not play him.
I need Sam Pritchard
because you just said, chill. You just put yourself in their own trap. You just said, I know y'all waiting to go after my guy.
You gotta weather the Jordan. You got to weather the storm.
Into that storm becomes a hurricane category 5.
Hurricane or whatever it is, Jordan. You got to weather the storm. If you're a team that's going to make a deep playoff run, that's going to be 6 games. That's 12 games, 15, 16 games. When you get they have to play. So although I understand that, Jordan. What I'm saying is, although we just discussed that a lot of these guys' minutes are going to shrink, those minutes are still going to be exploited when they happen. So all you can do is weather the storm. All you can do is weather the storm and play your next chess piece.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So everything you guys are saying is it's all right. It's all going to happen. But just because one thing happened don't mean the other thing will happen.
I'm not disagreeing that these like role players who come in for 5 minutes aren't going to get exploited. But what I'm trying to say is like, dude, if these coaches are doing these playoff game plans, they're seeing the starters for 30 to 40 minutes a night. So like the thing that I'm going to game plan the most is what starter can I pick on? If people are going to game plan against the Cavs, it's going to be like they're not worrying about Ty Jerome minutes. They're going to worry about, can I pick on Darius Garland?
I think you're
underestimating
how much they worry about those.
We got one mic, y'all. Relax. We got one mic.
But that's just so surface level.
Every single player on the team. But what I'm trying to say is like the team is going to put most of their effort on finding what starters to pick on.
I disagree.
Okay, no, this is the point. The thing is this. That's where you win the game. That's where you win the series. You play, of course. It's 48 minutes. Let's say for these 30, 35 minutes that we're just going, our best was your best. Now that what's that 35? So that 13 minutes right there, that's where we win the game. We win the game by your eighth man blowing a matchup. We win the game by exploiting that, getting it out quickest. He's doing the wrong thing. He's guarding him right there. That's where we win the game right there.
That's a fact because when
you're coaching in preparation for the playoffs, you and your coaching staff are in the war room. We're sitting here and we're playing chess against each other. Like, yo, this is where we hit him right here. This is where when you see, and we got scouts that are at all their games all the season because we know who we're gonna play in the playoffs. I'm watching what that signal means. What's he gonna do when he comes on the court? And now I'm relaying that back to my head coach, my head assistant coach. Like, yo, when he comes in, he's going straight there. That's what they're doing. Boom. How are we gonna exploit that? But I know you're not saying they're not, Caswell. I know what you're saying. I'm saying that they are going to game plan for everything you said they're going to game plan for. But you're going to win the game right there in those trenches, those 13, those down times, those little, because as you know, Caswell, basketball is a game of runs. Where are we going to get our runs at? I'm going to get my runs when you sub in Ty Jerome, Sam Merrill. When you sub these guys in, boom, I'm about to go on a quick 10-2 run. We're going to win this game. Because you only got to win the game by 1 point. You know what I mean?
But half those
guys Casual, Kenny, Chill, Jordan. I know we're having a good ass discussion, and I would love to let this run on until we're on Playback later tonight. But unfortunately, we have a couple more things that we have to touch on. And also, my man Kenny, a Hall of Famer, is up here. What's good, Kenny?
Nothing much, man. I've been listening to this conversation. I think, like Ox was saying, everyone is right in their own way, and I just feel like we trying to be right the most. But everyone's right in their own way if you just kind of sit back and listen to it, especially. I feel like y'all really like hone in on like the specifics of what Casual was saying when he guys a really good point of saying that if you just only game plan, and I'm saying that's not what you guys are saying, but it's I think way more important to game plan for the 40 minutes of that than the game of runs trying to just hone in on the Ty Jerome, but both are important. That's why Casual keeps going. Like I keep watching Casual's face, and he's just like, I'm not saying this is wrong. I'm just saying it's also important.
That part. Just so you know, I 100% understand that. I 100% understand Casual. We got a game plan for the guys. We got a game plan for the guys who are going to be on the floor the most. Right.
What those guys are going to do.
I get that part, Casual. That we got a game plan for the guys who are going to be on the floor most.
Yes.
But you know what we can't absorb? We can't absorb Sam Merrill. What we can't absorb is we can't absorb Sam Merrill coming off the bench.
He's not playing.
We can't absorb Dean Hunter coming off the bench and giving 4 threes. We can't absorb that. That could be the difference in the game, and especially when you're especially when you're in a series where this isn't playing against a lesser team. We can't afford to give away any games. We can't afford to be down in this series. We can't afford to give away any games. So if Ty Jerome comes off the bench and gives us 18. That's killing us because we ain't prepared for that. Now, I can appreciate us being prepared for Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, Porzingis. I can appreciate 100% that we prepared for that. But to Ox's point, those 13, 15 minutes, that could be the difference in a game. And us giving away one of those games could be the difference in us losing the series.
Yo, Kenny, I gotta ask you, Kenny.
What's up?
Celtics or Cavs, Eastern Conference Finals, who you putting your money on?
If I put my money on it, I'm going Celtics. But I want the Cavs to win.
All right. If you are tuning in right now, you know the drill. Like the video, subscribe. Shout out to all of our Hall of Famers. Shout out just to all of our members in general. And if you are a member and if you are a subscriber, chances are that you know that we get on Playback from time to time. And chances are that you know on Fridays, we take the big stage on Playback. We are the focal point. We are the spotlight. And tonight, we will be there. But remember, we were going to do this game. But we got a better treat for you guys because since my man Penn's going to be with me, and since Chet Holmgren is back, and since the Raptors are playing out of their minds right now, and since the Oklahoma City Thunder are one of the best teams in the league, we decided to switch it up and do this game at 8 o'clock Eastern time on Playback's main stage. Y'all know what to do. Y'all know where to be, and y'all know where to find us. The Raptors versus the Thunder. I better see y'all there.
Same time, right, Ron?
No, it's an hour later. 8 Eastern time. Did you not hear me say 8 Eastern time? Will you focus, Ox?
See, now Ron got me working an hour later. Just ain't even.
I tried to do the game before. Y'all didn't like it.
Nah, but he ain't even asked me. Hey, Mars, does this work for you? I know you're on a different side of the world.
Hey, Kenny, if Mars can't pull up, you gonna pull up, Kenny. If Mars can't pull up,
damn,
I'll be at work. I'll be at work. I can't pull up.
Well, if not, my man Duke will pull up. Mars, you can stay at home. You ain't gotta pull. You ain't gotta come to the show then.
Mars don't even go to school. Mars don't even go to school. He don't have nothing to do.
This the same Mars who be complaining about not being on Playback. I'm sick of you, Mars. I have had it.
I don't complain about not being on Playback. I just acknowledge that I don't get asked to do any. Like that's
he just asked you to do it. And Mars, give me the kid.
Mars. He said with
Mars, give me the kid, Mars. Mars, give me the kid.
We know Mars ain't gonna give up the kid, so it's all good, Mars. We still gonna press you for that kid. But y'all, these are the all-star rosters that we will see in San Francisco on the 16th. They were drafted last night. It was a funny draft, how the teams ended up turning out to be what they are, but these are what they are. So, Team Kenny, you got Anthony Edwards, and this is the order in which he selected his team. You got Anthony Edwards, and he chose Anthony Edwards with the second pick. But he got Anthony Edwards, Jalen Brunson, Jaren Jackson Jr., Jalen Williams, J-Dub, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Cade Cunningham, and Tyler Hero.
That's the worst team.
Team Chuck.
They're getting cooked.
Team Chuck. You got Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, SGA, Victor Wembanyama, Pascal Siakam, Out Şengün, Karl Anthony Towns, and Donovan Mitchell.
That's that's a hell of a team because they ain't really got no small forward.
Shout out to that one guard.
But they gonna win though.
Team Shaq, LeBron, Steph, AD, Tatum, KD, Damian Lillard, James Harden, and Jaylen Brown.
Man, we dropping these old heads.
Only one center, but it's cool.
Dropping these old heads.
For real. Well,
done with the 90s.
Yeah, LeBron should be able to hold Jokic, and AD should be able to hold him sometimes. But just put LeBron on.
We act like there's gonna be any defense being played. Like, oh, look at the matchup.
Hopefully,
running the shooting threes. Like,
this was
hopefully. Mars, I'm optimistic. Mars. I'm optimistic.
This was the clearest
thing. Match up with him. You know that more ain't gonna be guards and anything.
Hey, Mars, I'm being optimistic about this. I'm looking at this like a game. I'm not looking at this like an all-star game. I'm just looking at this like a game. I think I just want it to be intense. So I'm going to not speak negative on it since we will be there. So hopefully our energy and our aura cause them to win games. I mean,
you can speak positive. I'm gonna speak negative because I'm not gonna be there. All right.
I know that. When I see my dude, I know he better be drenched. That's all I know.
Go ahead, Kenny.
What would happen if at the All-Star games, like people just started booing, like like if you just booed the All-Star game?
Oh yeah,
didn't they boo last year? Hard. I think they booed last year.
No,
did
I don't think anything will happen.
Yeah,
they still gonna get their money for
sick
the
of this 181 to 177 bullshit.
That's good.
Well, keep in mind this is 4 small games, and I think they're playing to a target score. I don't remember exactly what the score is, But I know it's smaller games, and I believe it's going to be a little more competitive due to that, or it's just going to add another wrinkle into it. But
Are
Kenny,
they playing on the
you were
same
saying
night
something.
though, Ron?
Yeah, it's
so they playing four.
So
like each team's gonna play 2 games on the same night.
Team 1 plays team 2. Team 3 plays team 4. And I don't know which teams are going to play each other in the first round, but that's how it'd be. And then the 2 winning teams from that will play each other in the championship game.
So what I was saying is I'm hating on these team selections because as soon as I saw the team selections, I realized these were predetermined. If you look at the correlation between each of the teams, there's a running theme.
It is.
Team Shaq is team old heads plus Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, which you kind of can put them in there. Team 2 is young rising stars, and then team 3 is international stars plus Donovan Mitchell.
As the international star?
Yeah,
Canadian.
Canadian, Dominican Republic.
That's Dominican.
Dominican,
They have to find, but yeah, you can very clearly see it's an agenda-based draft. Like, it is what it is. Like they're trying to, I don't know, spew.
That is crazy because ain't no way in hell you put Wemby, Giannis, Jokic, and Shea.
Yeah, it was very obvious. It's very obvious that's what they're doing. Maybe
Kenny's team has 1 starter. How does Kenny get 1 starter? I didn't watch the draft. I didn't pay attention to any of it. How does Kenny get 1 starter?
Because ain't no way he picked that team and think this.
No, he didn't look bad.
His narrative
like that.
His narrative was that he's going young because they're going to play hard and try hard.
Oh, okay. He just wanted
so he needed the young guys. So their only young starter was Jaylen.
I see. I mean, you've got but God, this team just.
That team is not gonna win. What if they do go out there and just beat the hell out of everybody?
They might. I'm not putting it past them.
Anyone can win. It's the
I think that second game is going to be a dog fight in the fourth quarter, just by nature of how the game
might be a hot take.
Dog fight might be a little overblown, but we're gonna be optimistic.
They got all the old heads, but give me Team Shaq. They look like they have most of the guys who could win an All-Star game MVP.
Look, if Wemby and Giannis play hard, if they play hard,
like a Tatum, they got a lot of guys who look like they can win an All-Star game MVP. I'm gonna put my money on Team Shaq to win.
Giannis,
if Wemby and them start playing hard and Jokic just start getting,
never seen Jokic take that game seriously ever.
But if they start playing, they're trying to win, then eventually he'll tap in. But he's not going to tap in. If they win the first game, he'll tap in the second game.
If it's a real game, I'm taking Chuck's team just because they got Giannis, Wemby, SGA, Jokic. But if this is just like, your typical all-star game where let's just shoot a bunch of threes and just dunk, I'm taking Shaq's team because they got the guys who could win an all-star MVP, who shoot a lot of threes and score a lot of points in this game.
What I want to see though, I want to see that international versus USA. Because what I'm hoping is that the international community is this is the only real opportunity we will ever get to go full force, and we'll actually have at least a half of a game where it's going to be the Americans, which is the old heads, which is the establishment, and then it's going to be the international folk, this established and up and comers, and they can actually start going blow for blow. Even if you got to take Jokic out and put Cat in, I still think there's an opportunity for them to get there. I think, for me personally, Wemby, everything I know about Wemby, if it gets close, if the game is close in the third, fourth quarter, Wemby gonna go for it. And he's going to want to prove that he can outplay all these dudes up here. And then as soon as LeBron make one of them threes and he start,
Giannis with all the smoke too, Giannis is with all the smoke too.
Yeah, are we sure Wemby's going to have the ball in his hand late if it gets down to it? I don't know.
I'm saying that's what I'm saying. If it's close.
Who's going to have the ball late in the All-Star game?
No, I'm just saying. Whoever
gets the rebound gonna have the ball. What we doing?
No, I'm just saying. He said, it's gonna get busy. I'm like, are we sure they're gonna You're sure
it's gonna be Shea ISO? It's gonna be Shea ISO.
Mars with certain guys, they coming to get the ball. They go be like, no, run that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm sure Giannis is gonna be
if Bron and Steph, they're on the same team right now, but if they was on separate teams and it come down to that, and they really trying to win now, Bron gonna come get the ball from one of the younger dudes.
Oh, yeah.
No, I want the ball. You're going to get a ball to him.
Oh, yes.
Hell no, I ain't giving him the ball. I got me tripping his whole career until I give him the ball. Hell no.
They are setting it up for it to be the old heads versus the international. As soon as we get the bracket released, you're going to see they're going to be on opposite sides. They're trying to set it up so that's the final matchup.
Okay, so here's what it is. The target score is 40 points. Mm-hmm. So first team to surpass 40 points wins the game.
Okay. So that's what we plan to. So
that game's gonna take like 3 minutes.
Yeah, Team Shaq, they got a bunch of shooters, bro. Steph, Dame, just let them shoot a couple of threes. They can get to 40 quick.
Yeah, these games gonna be quick, but that's cool.
It should be like 10 to 15 minutes.
Well, they got to play multiple games, so yeah.
It's 3 games.
Like 10, 15-minute games. That'll be cool. I think it's gonna be fun, yo.
Yeah,
Especially since they're going to a target score and not the clock. I think we can get we'll get a little competition here. I don't think it's gonna be as bad as we expected to be. I'm like Jordan said, I'm being optimistic. Not just because we're gonna be there, but just because
because we're gonna be there.
I wanted to just be fun. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to have a fun game, a little competition. And I'm thinking maybe some of the other guys want to go, want to leave the All-Star game in a good place. Like, no, let's show the people, show the fans that we're still showmen, but we still take our craft seriously, and we're gonna give the people a show. I'm looking forward to that, yeah.
They did the same thing last year with the Rising Stars game, right? And we had Benedict Mathurin going at Jaden Ivey.
Yeah,
yes,
the target score 3 games.
Yeah.
Right, people found that entertaining, so maybe maybe the All-Stars will do the same thing, bring that energy. I wouldn't put money on it, but
speaking of which, a Rising Stars team is going to be in this. So remember, Saturday or is it Friday night? One of them nights.
I thought it was always on Friday.
Rising Stars.
Okay, so Friday.
I think the Rising Stars game is Friday.
It's Friday. It is Friday. So Rising Stars play on Friday. Obviously, you have 3 Rising Stars team. They did it just like they did the All-Star game. They broke up 24 players into 3 different teams. And then they have a G League team as well.
Guess who was the first pick?
Amin?
Who?
Victor.
He doesn't know, man. Yeah.
But so you have 3 Rising Stars teams, and then you have a G League team. They do the same thing. They play 2 games to 40. And then the 2 winners of those 2 games play in a championship game. The winner of that game on Friday, or of that mini tournament on Friday, plays an All-Star game or on Sunday against the 3 All-Star teams. So I'm saying that to say, let's not sleep on the Rising Stars. Let's not. You never know.
So who? So we don't know. So you said the 3 teams play Saturday.
4 teams.
4 teams play Saturday, and then you said it's not. So the youngins are. You said they're advancing no matter what.
The winner of that mini tournament on Friday night with the Rising Stars advances and plays Sunday.
Oh yeah.
And keep in mind, it's money implications too. So the winning team gets 150,000 each. Second place gets 50, and then
they get this for themselves. They get 150K for themselves.
Yeah. So it is some money implications.
I'll take 150K.
Will you please try? Here's 150K. Will you please try 150K? That's not even a game check for a lot of these dudes. That's why I don't think people realize how much money we're talking about. That's not even a full game check.
But you're not playing a full game. You're playing to 40.
Well, for the best players, it's not. But for like,
and you're not playing a hard game too. You're playing.
Let me do the math for you, casual. So 150.
J-Dub's still on a rookie contract. This is gonna be a game.
150 times 82. You know how much that is in an 82 game season?
How much?
$12,300,000.
And how much is J-Dub making? Let's see. J-Dub making $4 million.
Right. So that's that. So let's say.
Hold on.
Are you saying that should give? Swap, are you saying that they should pay him more?
No, I'm saying that
it doesn't make a difference.
No. Well, I'm saying 2 things. I'm saying that like it's probably not going to make that big of a difference, but I'm also saying how incredulous is it, Ox, that like for instance, Ox, listen to this. So I think Jimmy Butler just signed that contract, right? So for 21. Jimmy Butler in this next contract, he's making $750,000 a game.
But everyone's on Jimmy Butler's contract.
Yes, but if you break it down like that, yes,
that's how you get paid. You get paid weekly or by right.
Yeah, first and 15.
Now again, obviously, just knock off 45%, 42% for taxes.
50.
Let's knock off. Well, it depends on where it is, right? And
he's then let's knock off. He's in San Francisco, so
right. So knock off the agents and all that stuff, which is 3%. Knock off Social Security. So I mean, he's probably seeing 350, but that's still wild. Like that's a lot.
So he's getting half a game's worth of salary for the All-Star game.
And for some of these, for some people, they're getting a game check. And then even still, like you, I forget what All-Star game it was.
One like $96,000 basically.
One of the
but it's not necessarily a game because he doesn't have to play to get that. That's why I was pushing back on Swiper.
Basically, the money. Basically, not that incentive.
I mean, they don't pay 82 games. It's just like.
Well, no, you're paid. But I'm saying you're paid on the pay scale, so they just pay per game, and then you get that accumulation like every 2 weeks or every month, depending on
the money.
It's every first and 15th. It's every first 15th.
All I know is every first and 15th. So 6 days ago, bro. Shoot, bro. Yoke, Bron, all them.
That bread went straight, boy. Boy, I don't get LeBron. Like LeBron is getting M's for a check. Like every first and 15th, I'm getting multi M's, turning it in. Like what?
And then I got enough money to make my problems go away. Legit. Like, Anthony Edwards, like, send the video. I got enough money.
Yeah.
Just
I don't get how you
much
don't.
of my game check. This
Swipe,
much
I
of my
don't
game
get how
check.
you don't. I don't get how you don't because it's like, bro, for every first and 15th, and when you sign, that signing bonus go into your account that very next day. Boom, right into your account. So it's like,
fellas, money will not solve all your problems.
But no, it won't.
A lot of them.
He'll solve a lot.
Gronkowski, he never used any of his salary money. He actually only used all the money he made from like doing ads and commercials and all that.
Yeah, bro.
You're talking about Shaq, right?
No, Gronkowski. Gronk.
Bro, also, if you look at it too, also NBA players get paid off of social media too, like Instagram. If you have a lot of followers, Facebook. You wonder why some NBA players got Facebooks? It ain't because they want to join in with the family. No, Facebook paid them to do that. YouTube, whatever, all the other stuff too, and the sponsorships that they have. That's why Ant wanted her to send a video. That's why. It's like I ain't even got to do all that. But every first and 15th, LeBron is getting what? $2.5 million or more than that. I don't know.
All undeserved, but here's what it is.
Undeserved.
That man should be working. That man should be playing for free.
But shoot, within the owners though.
If he really love the game, he should play.
Think about what
it ain't about what the owners getting because they was already getting some bread. They the one who invested into it. It ain't about what they getting. It's about what you getting. That's how business works.
My goat played for the love of the game.
Be careful, Jordan.
What go?
Be careful, Jordan. They're gonna hate. They're gonna hate you for capping for billionaires.
Well, I'm not a corporate, so that's all Jordan.
Y'all speaking
of
goats and speaking of the love of the game. Before I get into these super chats, I must address that there was a GOAT last night that scored 42 points. He had 17 rebounds. He had 8 assists. He had 1 steal. But I also must mention that he still didn't score as much as Jordan. And he still didn't have as many steals as Jordan at the age of 40. But these are two all
rebounds and assists.
Oh, who cares about rebounds and assists? This game is about buckets and locking up.
Just skip the rebounds and assists. It's fine.
But
I don't care about his 17 rebounds.
All in all, though, these were 2 amazing games by 2 amazing players, and they both did it.
Is that really Michael Jordan's arm? I don't think that's Michael Jordan's arm.
Yeah, that's Michael Jordan's arm.
I think they just put somebody's face on somebody else's arm.
That's
crazy. Swiper, you do that all the time. What you talking about?
It's Swiper, that's crazy. Muscle watching is crazy. That's not MJ's arm
on it and everything.
Flex on him, MJ.
That look like Anthony Edwards' arm. That they just
look at them goats. Look at them goats. You gotta love it. Any thoughts on what LeBron's doing right now? They just won their third straight.
That's definitely a fake arm.
It was a cool little game.
Hey, shout out that PrizePicks demon, man. I saw the Warriors on the schedule. I looked up the numbers and I saw that.
Why did you not take the Anthony Edwards demon? You would have won more.
Nah, because I didn't think he was going to do that. Because it was like 35, and I was like, I already got one.
I said yesterday Anthony Edwards he was going to hit,
but I did it. I'm saying I did it after the show, so I wasn't even here to see y'all whatever. So I just
the Anthony Edwards demon was free. I mean the Jalen Green.
No, but I tell y'all what, in the chat, just since I'm I'm probably the best up here at PrizePicks, but nobody knows, so I don't say nothing. I really don't say anything about it. Tonight, just so y'all, can I don't take none of y'all picks, especially Ross. Let me see here. Tonight I got Trae Young.
For what? Okay. Trae Young for what?
More 26 and a half. Giannis.
Hey, my point guard ain't a Lester.
50 and a half. Tyler Hero, 22 and a half. Bam Adebayo, sneaky, 33 and a half.
What's that, points and rebounds?
Yep.
Okay.
Jovic.
I might go less on the Trae Young, though.
Jovic, minus 21 and a half.
You out your mind.
And then Damian Lillard, 26.5.
I'm telling you, with Trae Young, you might want to go less.
That's possible.
What? Who the Hawks play tonight? The Bucks, right?
Hammer Trae Young tonight. Hammer Trae Young tonight, is what I'm gonna say.
New team, more ball handlers on that team. It's gonna be confusing to see how they make that work.
But I'm saying don't do the 6 through. Do the flex. Do the flex because I only do the 6 if I know with like I'm pretty like bro. I'm telling you, Christian Brown was this close.
Where's the fun in that? Swiper?
Exactly. Gross.
You don't want to do the flex.
Hey, I'm trying to make some money.
I did do the flex like KD
swiper. Be a man.
Boy, I almost went 6 for 6 swiping. KD cheaped me out on half a shot. I had Kevin Durant more field goals made than 9.5. I had him for 10 field goals. He makes 9, and I lose.
That's how y'all get stressed out with the making picks on different various ways or however y'all do it. Because a lot of y'all look at this as a means of income. And then when y'all be losing, be like, "Oh my God, I hate this." Y'all gotta have more fun with it, man.
I have fun. That's why
I'm putting my money in it. Yeah, I want to win, right?
Enjoy I do have fun, though. I do have fun. I just took a break after KD broke my heart.
Y'all need to Y'all need to stop betting your car notes and just have fun with it.
I'll do like $5 bets. Everybody know.
He did go 9 for 12.
All I know is I'm gonna be having a hell of a time parlay watching on Playback's main stage tonight. So what y'all need to do is download PrizePicks, put together your little parlays for this game, and come parlay watch with us. Let's have a good old grand old time.
Chill. That's why you catch me at the table that started G up. You know what I'm saying? So ain't no fraud willies. You know, ain't no fraud at the table. You know, gambling they re-ups. You know.
So Ox is basically saying don't sit at the poker table with him, dog. He's saying don't sit at the blackjack table with him with your little cheese. I'm
at that blackjack table. I'm playing 3 hands. I'm playing 3 hands at once, Jordan. On that blackjack, 3 hands at a time, baby.
Ron, real quick, since we on the subject, and it's not going to take long. Real quick, story time. My junior year in college, we playing in the Big West tournament. We're staying at the Riviera in Vegas. That's where the Big West tournament is. I'm a blackjack dude, so I come to the blackjack table, $25. All right, that's all I got. All right, that's all I'm playing with. I'm up $250, right? So why don't I take the $250 that I won and just step off? Nah, I took $250 from you. I'm gonna take $250 from this dealer. So the dealer, I didn't know that when in blackjack, when they switch dealers, you're supposed to play a couple of hands and leave. The competitor that I am, I'm like, I just took $250 from her. I'm gonna take $250 from you. Ron, not only did I lose the $250, I also lost the $25 I came to the table with.
No.
Damn.
Yeah.
No. When you play blackjack, no. Go ahead.
There was a dude. On top of that, there was a dude who came there, and he was sitting right next to me. He had his income tax check. We got to go out the way to get out of the hotel. We got to walk through the casino. We had to shoot around at 9:00 that morning. I'm walking out of the hotel. Do I tell you that money's still sitting right at the blackjack table? I walk over to him. My man, what you still doing here? My dude was up 1,800, got down to 200. He's up to and at that point when I talked to him, he had $900. So he basically had what he came there with.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all.
It sounds like you had a fun time. That's what it sounds like.
I'm gonna tell y'all something that people don't realize about betting.
Mm-hmm.
People like they said it when people keep betting like that. You know, you say you're a competitor. It's not that you are having a thrill of winning. You know what the thrill you're having and making you stay there? The thrill of losing. It works backwards. Like you win so much, and you think. No, I'm telling you, that's like look it up. That's what they said. They said that's why people become addicts. It's the thrill of them getting so high up and that defeat, boom, and then they got to do it again and defeat.
That's one of them different. That's one of them different type of kinks. I don't know about that.
I'm telling you the truth. That's why people do it.
All right, y'all. I gotta get to these super chats. The first one is from MP13. He said, "Can you be an elite perimeter player without high-end pull-up shot numbers? I think that has to be the prerequisite unless you are a downhill threat like Bron or Giannis. Tatum isn't exceptional enough in any area to compensate."
That's actually interesting. I immediately thought of John Stockton, but he was good at that.
I can't think of one. He's not an elite pull-up.
Steve Nash was great at that. I'm trying to think Steve Francis.
I think back in the day, I just think nowadays you can't. Like
Stephon Marbury.
Dwayne Wade was an elite perimeter player. He wasn't an elite.
Yeah, but he was a drive demon.
Yeah,
Marbury. I know. That's what I'm trying to think. Starbury was really good on drives. Francis really good on drives. I don't know who else from that era. Could not now at all. Not now. You got to be able to shoot the ball.
All right. Kai's said Mars, submit to the best shooting guard in the league. And Mars, time to submit. Averaging 31, 6, and 5 on 62 true shooting percentage in the last 20 games. Wolves are now the 6th seed and officially out of the play-in. And I know you've seen that playmaking improvement.
I mean, yeah, I praised his playmaking improvement a while ago. Julius Randle out the lineup, by the way. I'm just
coincidence.
I don't know, but no, I've been going crazy recently. Yeah, I'm not mad at it. I guess I'm not mad at it.
Ox is crazy.
It's Hack Ira said Dallas's defense suffocated Boston last night without PJ, AD, Lively, and Caleb. Christie is an absolute gem. It's trendy to hate on Dallas right now, but it's undeniable how good they are.
I don't know how much Caleb Moore is going to move the needle if he comes back, but the other three, yeah, that's big. I still have concerns about the offense come postseason time, but defensively, I have no questions at all. I think defensively, they're going to be amazing. And I think they can compete in the West. I don't know how far that means they go, but I do think they can compete and go as far as their offense allows them to, because their defense will be great in any series. I think it's whether or not their offense can tread water and be viable enough. Shout out to Klay Thompson as well. Great game last night. That second quarter, it was nice. It was nice to see.
The Mavs can still make the finals. Don't think they will, but 100%. It's on the table. It's on the table.
I agree.
I don't think there's that many teams in the West better than Dallas, fully healthy. I don't.
We had a conversation earlier.
Head to head, Dallas. The record might say they're like a 500 team. Head to head, you can't convince me that Memphis and Houston are better than Dallas, fully healthy.
Oh, no, don't bring us up.
Clippers, blah blah blah.
Lakers,
honestly, it might be like a top 3 to 4 team.
I think they're the second best team in the West. I think they're the second best team in the West. Yeah,
with Anthony Davis in this lineup, I'm loving this 2007, 2008 Boston Logic more and more. I am.
Yeah. I still think what's going to stop them from winning a championship is the fact that their two best players are number 2s. I kind of feel like
Kyrie can easily be a number 1 in the playoffs, though.
When have we seen that?
Player in the playoffs.
Well, he can have great games.
I think it comes down to how
40 alongside LeBron.
Kyrie can have great games, but he can't be every single game in the playoffs that lead guy.
A supplemental guy. That's what a number 2 is.
He does it in the playoffs, though. He does that in the playoffs.
Unless you have a team like Boston that's extremely stacked, you need that alpha dog number 1 on your team to win a championship, like a LeBron, like a Luka.
But what has Kyrie been doing? What was Kyrie doing in the playoffs last year and with LeBron? What was he doing?
Special. He had good games, but he wasn't. Come on, bro. Look at the numbers.
He was special. Yes, he was special.
I don't see. I'm gonna be honest. I don't see how Anthony Davis hasn't shown you enough in the postseason to where you can.
And Anthony
Mars,
Davis
how hasn't Kyrie showed you that in the playoffs?
Kyrie's not a number 1.
What does number 1 mean to you?
It's that alpha dog. I can go to you in a 7-game series, and you just win me the series, like a Luka, like an SGA, like a LeBron, like
Leonard.
a Jokic.
Leonard.
So Kyrie didn't do that when he was in Cleveland.
You lost me.
Right decision.
So Kyrie didn't do that in Cleveland?
He was the number 2 in Cleveland.
But he
wasn't number 1.
They went to him for the game winner. He was getting 40.
Okay, just
and also by the way, Jordan, we're a year away from that being a decade ago. So he was in.
By the way,
last year, what was Kyrie doing?
Am I bugging?
He wasn't that special.
Davis not step up in the postseason. Am I bugging?
No,
I thought I was.
You're not bugging. You're not bugging at all.
Now I'm not with Captain no more.
Apparently meant something for Kyrie. Let me go look at these numbers for Anthony Davis. Oh, he did.
You don't even have to look up the Mars. You don't have to look up
28 and 16 in the postseason last year.
Mars, you don't even have to look up the numbers. Just let's just go back and remember what we saw. Let's just go back and remember what we saw. Remember him dominating against the Trailblazers when they swept them, when they won the NBA championship in 2020. In 2021, when he got hurt. If he doesn't get hurt, Phoenix is out. Let's be clear about that right now. If he doesn't get hurt, Phoenix is out. The next year, they don't make the playoffs. He dominated that series in 23 against Memphis. Dominated. Kicked Jaren Jackson's ass. The only reason why they didn't, and he was the difference in that Warrior series. Right? He was the complete difference in that Warrior series.
So Anthony Davis history, right? We got his first ever playoff series. They lose to the Warriors. Anthony Davis averages 31.
He was awesome. Anthony Davis is an awesome postseason player.
2018 against the Blazers when I don't like.
You see that, Chill? That's why. My bad, Mars. I'm sorry, but that's why Mars has to go to the numbers because people only respect the numbers. Until Casual was going through it, he was going to go ahead and just keep disrespecting Anthony Davis.
But so
now when Mars has the numbers out there,
Anthony Davis
was amazing.
By the way, those guys are numbers.
Go ahead, Mars.
Separated by like one game, I think. So it's
mind you, Anthony Davis, mind you, he was awesome in this Pelican series. He's not the same player he was in 15.
That's cool.
No, I'm agreeing with you, Mark. So you can pull up the number. I'm saying
33 and 12 in that series. They then played the Golden State Warriors. He averaged 28 and 15.
Mars, whoa. Stop right there, Mars. Rewind. Rewind, Mars. Don't undersell that Portland series. He out-rebounded their whole front line and swept them out the playoffs.
He was amazing.
Destroyed them.
Of course. And then 2020 against Portland, 30 points per game, 9.5 rebounds, amazing. Then you got the 2020 series against Houston where he decimated them because they went
destroyed them.
He averaged 25 and 12. Then you got the conference finals against the Nuggets. He averaged 31 a game. Then you got the NBA finals.
And he hit that big game.
Hit that game winner in game 3, game 4, game 3 or game 4. Then you got the finals where some people say he could have been finals MVP. Arguable. I wouldn't mind the conversation. He averaged 25 and 11 in that series. Then you got the 21 series against the Suns where he got hurt and they lost that series inevitably. Anthony Davis only averaged 17 points. What a shame.
Had he not been hurt.
Then you got the 2023 series against Memphis. Anyone remembers? He shut down Jaren Jackson.
Destroyed him.
In those first couple
shut
games,
the door on him, Mars.
Yeah, he shut because I remember we was on the panel at this time. He shut down Jaren Jackson in that series. Shut down Memphis's offense. And then what was the conversation about Anthony Davis? He was too inconsistent offensively. That was the series where we had 27 in one game, 13 the next game, then he would have like 31, then he would have like 11. And the conversation, despite the fact that Anthony Davis was once again the best player in that series, because he was inconsistent offensively, he was maligned for it.
And averaging 20 and 10, by the way.
The most impactful player in that series. But he only averaged 21 and 14. So very disappointing. Then you got that series against the Warriors. Then you got the series in the next rounds against the Warriors, where once again, he was the best player in the series.
Destroyed them.
Shut down the Warriors offense. His ability to defend that Golden State pick and roll. Destroyed Golden State. He only averaged 21 and 14, though. So I guess it didn't move the needle.
Break, man. What are we doing?
So we can ignore the fact that he is by far the best defender on the planet while these series are unfolding because he's not a number one because he didn't put up 27 a game. But against the Nuggets, the series they got swept, he did average 27 and 14. But then I guess because he couldn't.
I don't think he's a number one.
I'm sorry that the
how can you say that? How can you say that?
Last year against the Nuggets, 28 and 16. But I guess Anthony Davis just in the postseason.
And the other dude was just better. I'm sorry.
That is one of the 5 best players on the planet. If Anthony Davis playing at a top 5 level in the playoffs every year somehow isn't enough, then I'm not gonna lie. There's like 3 players in the world good enough. Like I don't. What more does Anthony Davis have to do in the playoffs? He plays at a top 5 level every time he's in the postseason and out. Every single time. But that's not enough.
They should just win the finals then. Shit.
No, but that's not the point. That's not the point.
He won the finals.
Yeah, I understand.
By the way,
you can't even be like, well, he hasn't won. Yes, he is.
Yes.
Fellas,
and dominated, by the way, Mars, when he did it. And not just when dominated.
Give you? Like,
I'm not saying he's not a great playoff performer. I know those numbers. How did I know those numbers? Because I watched all those series. I'm just saying I don't think he is the number one on like a championship team.
But it was arguable that he was number one on the championship team that he's won.
Nah, that was LeBron, bro. No, it was LeBron.
I mean, I guess if we throw defense to the wayside, defense means nothing. Then sure, yeah, maybe he's never been the best offensive player on a championship team. That's cool. This is why this is why I despise the number 1, number 2 logic. Because this is the same argument. I'd be like, well, Kevin Garnett can't be a number 1 because he's not the best offensive player. So what's the value of being the best defender on the planet? Like, what is the value? It just means nothing because you're a bit flawed offensively.
It doesn't mean more than averaging 28 a game.
So a player who's really good offensively, but can get mismatch hunted to hell on defense, that's cool. They're a number 1. But the guy who's the best defender on the planet changes series single-handedly, year after year in the postseason. But because they aren't a tier 1 playmaker, they can't be a number 1 on a championship team. Like, what more do you want from Anthony Davis? He gives you the best defense of anyone in the league. He's an uber efficient scorer, one of the best play finishers in the NBA. He plays off of perimeter players at such a high level. He also offers that mid-range spot-up shooting. He offers that pick-and-pop game. He offers the face-up and the post-up game. But because he only averages 2 assists, he can't be a number 1. Like, what more do you need to see from Anthony Davis to acknowledge that he's not only been one of the 5 best players on the planet in the postseason year after year, but him being that good defensively you could argue he was the best player on the 2020 Lakers. Even if you don't say that, you won't deny he was one of the 3 best players on the planet.
I love AD. Trust me.
So what more does
those
he
moments?
have to do? Like, but he's not a number one.
Moments where
Luka and SGA. Oh yeah, they're just
moments
number
where
like,
it's the moments where gotta have it. Luka Doncic, please save me. I don't think you can get that from Anthony Davis.
Supposed to be the casual. What are you talking about?
But what? So if Anthony Davis saves the game on defense, what is he?
It's not one shot. I'm saying like down the stretch. I need
down
your offense. Here.
Davis
That's what I can get from Luka Doncic. I don't think I can get that from Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving.
Okay,
but Kyrie Irving literally did that for Cleveland.
No, because I'm. This is a genuine question. When Anthony Davis single-handedly can put teams on 5-minute scoring droughts in the 4th quarter, what is that? If that's not saving you, is it because he's not getting you 12 points in the process? If Luka Doncic can go on a run by himself on offense and take over a game in the 4th quarter, and we acknowledge that he's amazing. If Shea can do that, we acknowledge that he's amazing. What is it on defense when Anthony Davis can stop teams from scoring single-handedly? Does that not have the same value to you?
Hey, Ox, it don't sound like Dallas lost the trade to me. That's what it don't sound like. I'm just saying.
Short term, they didn't.
It don't sound like that.
That's the answer to my question.
It does not. It does not sound like Dallas lost the trade to me.
Short term, they didn't. But Mars,
you got to be careful out here. You got to be careful.
Mars, to answer your question. Mars, to answer your question, it is the exact same thing. It's just based off of what a person wants to value. But it's the exact same thing because just because he doesn't do it on offense, he's pretty much doing it on offense. He's just doing it from a defensive perspective because defense is going to generate offense in the playoffs. And that's why I'm saying I don't believe that Anthony Davis has to be the offensive player that you think he has to be because he's so valuable on defense. Even though he can do it on offense, but him, like Mars said, him holding down another team offense for 5 minutes, and he can't do that. Their best player. That is yes. That they are to me. They are part of being the favorites because they have the ability to, and then they have a player, and it's not gassing them up. That's what they do. Then they have a player like Kyrie Irving, who's a better closer in the NBA than Kyrie Irving.
Who is a better closer in the game than Kyrie Irving?
Kyrie Irving.
I mean,
it's a few you could say. It's a few.
Ain't no few. Ain't no few.
Kyrie's a great option. I just don't like the number one logic in general because it seems to just disregard the defensive value.
Of course,
like Anthony Davis, of guys like Tim Duncan, of guys like Kevin Garnett. Like I just think that that's relevant. Like we can value being able to go get a bucket in a tie game, 5 minutes left. But there's just as much value on stopping teams from scoring in a tie game. 5 minutes.
100%.
So 100%. If you're, however you're helping your team win, it's the exact same thing. A Dallas Mavericks offense with Luka was able to close games out offensively because of how special Luka is.
Yeah.
But a Dallas Mavericks team with Anthony Davis might not be as good offensively, but can put teams on major scoring droughts because of how good Anthony Davis is on defense. You're getting the same thing just on different sides of the ball. So what makes one a number one and one not a number one?
Mars, that's why, and that's why I got Scottie Pippen top 10.
As you were saying, Ron.
All right, y'all. Bilal Century said the notion that a 26-year-old Luka is automatically penciled in for 10 years is just naive. Overall rhetoric about the trade has been hijacked by social media groups thinking and a few actual nuanced opinions.
I mean, yeah, it's hard to project how long Luka has left. I'm willing to bet my house on that he has more time left than Anthony Davis.
But at this level, sure, I can get with that.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet my house on that.
But I can get with that.
I think that's fair.
How long he actually has, I don't know.
Joshua Grimes said, my Lakers playing good basketball right now. Role players are scoring, and Simmons is going to get bought out. Lakers can use him. He's a good defender and passer.
No.
Yeah, I don't like him in LA. I don't like him.
He can't go to LA anyways.
And what else, casual? And what else? You said no.
No.
Yeah, I don't. He can't go to the Lakers anyway. But I also we didn't talk about the game that much. I don't think the Lakers played that well last night. Like they won. I don't think
they had a bad second half. It was pretty bad.
I think what won them the game, quite simply, was transition, and you get credit for that. Amazing in transition. The Warriors' transition defense was abysmal. In the half court, I think the Lakers actually played badly. I don't think the Lakers had a good half court game.
They played
but
really
they were
well in
so
the first
good in
half.
transition because they were getting out in transition, not because they were good in the
Yeah,
half court.
they were.
Like I think they were bad in the half court, but they won the game because of how good they were in transition.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, a win is a win. But I don't think last night was a game indicative of how well the Lakers had been playing in the previous games to that. Last night, I think they played badly, but were able to get a win, and I think that's a good thing.
There were a lot of times where like it was like Golden State was about to close that game between like a possession or two, and then it's like, damn, Rui Hachimura is all the way back there for a wide open layup in transition, and Golden State let him.
Every time they got it to within 7, there's just a leak out on the dunk.
I thought their offense in the half court was fine the first half. Like Gabe Vincent was hitting some threes. It was mostly LeBron though, because Austin Reeves had a disaster game in the half court. Their second half was just terrible. I thought that's where they almost lost the game. First half they were great.
So that was an 8-second violation.
No, it's not. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Because I'm gonna tell you this what happened. So when the shot clock goes down to 16, hold on. Yeah, when the shot clock goes down to 16, the referee's looking at it, right? He has to be able to look up, and the ball has to still be there. So when you does it, when you
counting in their head, I always thought
it's both. It's both. So they count and then they look at the shot clock, and if it's at 15, I think it's 15.
It's not they. So as an
the ball was still in the backcourt at 15.
I think by the time they looked up, it was already advanced.
As an official, the trail official, I'm the one looking at the shot clock.
Right.
The guy in the middle of the floor, because there's 3 of us. You got the lead official on the end, you got the guy in the middle, and you got the trail official. That's my job. I'm looking at the shot clock because I got the action that's going on in the backcourt. The guy in the middle, he's looking across the floor. He's not paying attention to the shot clock. He's just peeking at it. That's my primary responsibility as the trail official, looking at the shot clock. So I'm the one who's supposed to be on that. Now, if the ball moves, if the ball is moving, if the ball moves across half court before 16 seconds, you good. After 16 seconds, it's a shot clock violation.
Yes,
that's
but I'm saying, but look, I'm agreeing with that, chill. I'm saying, but you know how they have to make that call? They have to look. So it's like at the time where it's like, yes, yeah, he has to look. So if he makes that look, and it's based off of his timing of it, and I think it was extremely close to where I don't know if you can call it now to the public eye, to us watching the game, we feel like, oh no, we can call it like that, but live is extremely hard to do. That would have been extremely hard call to make. Like confident.
They should have called it no matter what, though. And the reason
I
why
don't know, Ron.
It ain't no reason you in the NBA can't advance the ball in 8 seconds.
I agree. But Ron, we just talking about from the official standpoint. That is very hard for I
get that.
Like Chill saying, saying,
hey, chill.
Yes, sir.
Tonight, right?
8 o'clock. I'm there.
Also, tomorrow on Chill with Chill, we doing like a redraft, right, for the All-Star game?
We're gonna move some people around. Yes, we are.
Okay. So we're gonna draft how the team should have been drafted. Yes. Me, Chill, and Big Ox. Make sure to pull up to Chill with Chill tomorrow. We're gonna have a good time up there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Out,
but
fellas.
Ron, like Chill was saying,
and don't pull up trying to host either, Ron. You sit there and be quiet. Let me do my job.
hey, like the trail official is supposed to be looking at the shot clock. So think about it like this: I'm looking at the shot clock, right? I'm waiting till that shot clock gets down to 16 seconds. Then 15, I gotta look now at the court to see if the ball is across, and then I gotta call it. I think y'all just assuming that 15. No, it's not how that goes.
It's like delay game football.
Yeah.
Here's also the thing, though. Like refs call late calls all the time. You can look at the clock and see that it's at 15 seconds. You can turn around and look at the game and see that they didn't get the ball across, or that the ball just now
when they hit 15,
and then you can say, hey.
But when they hit 15, the ball was already across in somebody's hand. I'm just saying that. Yeah. Y'all just looking at it, it was in the air. Yes, it was in the air, but while it's in the air, the referee is transitioning from the shot clock.
I get what you're saying. All you're doing to me, in my mind, all you're doing is explaining why they missed the call. That's all.
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, that matters. Like, it doesn't matter if it was or wasn't. It would matter.
There's a valid reason that you're explaining why they missed it. I agree with you. They missed it because, quite frankly, they can't look at
that's their rule. Yeah.
And at the ball at the same time. The reality is they missed it. That's just why they missed it. Yeah. But if I'm the Warriors, I'm mad as hell.
Yeah, but Mars, that's a part. Look, to us, they missed it. To them, they don't think so because that's a part of their process.
When the 2-minute report comes out, I'm sure they will say they missed an.
I don't know. They're gonna say that's part of their process. That's the rule. It's just like delay a game, like the referee in football, like Casual just said. In football, that's how they do it the same way. It's like I'm waiting, and that's why sometimes we be complaining in football, like delay a game hit 0, and it's like, nah, I didn't because the referee
Wasn't it still a 2-possession game when it happened, anyways?
Yeah, it was. So it didn't really affect the game to me. But
like, all right,
yeah.
All right, y'all. Got a super chat from Jerry. He said the way Bron is playing right now, I think he is still top 6 or 7.
This is the thing, like. He can be on any given night still play at that level. It's just the consistency of it. And that's why I always ask when people say like Bron is still top 5 or top 6 or 7, how do you equate who's better? Is it in a series to save your life? Who would you rather have? Is it a game to save your life? Who would you rather have? Or is it over the course of the season? Who would you rather have? Because like I hear a lot of people who say Bron is still top 5 or whatever say in a series, are you seriously telling me you'd rather have insert player over LeBron? And quite often the answer to me is no. But you have to be able to get to the playoffs to have said series. And do I trust LeBron over the course of 82 games to be better on any given night, every given night, as opposed to this guy? Maybe not. So that's the issue, is like, how much are we valuing consistency over the whole season as opposed to the high end when you're fully locked in, when you're fully engaged, how good you can be? I think LeBron can be a top 5 player on the planet on any given night. That's the ceiling he can hit. He's also very liable to give you really bad defensive effort, be a very clear negative on that side of the ball. And offensively, sometimes he phases in and out of games, just depends on how much energy he has to exert on any given night, which is acceptable when you're the oldest player in the NBA, but that still hurts your overall value when I'm comparing you to the rest of the league, which is why I don't know where he ranks in the NBA. I just think the people who say he's top 5 or whatever value, like, in a series, I would rather have LeBron, which I think is a valid way to look at it. I just don't think it's the only way to look at it. So I don't know. He might be top 7. I don't know.
Justin Period sent through a super chat saying, bro, Ant really fried us last night. He's shooting guard number 1, no doubt. Rockets versus Lakers round 1, we might be cooked. Rocket FC.
I mean, you're looking at our playoffs. We got to get to the playoffs.
Rockets are cooked versus most teams. Rockets are cooked versus most teams they see in the West anyway.
Agreed.
We got to get to the playoffs first. At this point, I'm happy if we just make the first round.
You want to talk about, my
kind
take
of
on Anthony Davis? Their gotta-have-it player is going to be Jalen Green. Yeah, I'm cool, bro.
It's a basketball, Jordan.
Now, what kind of ball is that?
Gotta-have-it player is going to be Jalen Green.
A basketball? You ain't seen no basketball before?
No, but that one look like a trash ball, Ox.
Ain't no such thing as a trash ball. If it bounce, there you go.
Now, if that joint black at the park, it's trash.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's some new ass shit, Jordan.
Season team that can become a real contender.
That's some shit you youngsters do. Want to have a pretty ball.
I had a basketball until the under, like the under letter was
that's
coming
a ball
out.
that's clearly never been used. See the difference between my ball and Jordan's ball?
Oh no,
Jordan, you just got a basketball for a show?
No,
you ain't putting that thing to use.
But this is the EuroLeague ball without the color on it.
Ball, just new.
It's the EuroLeague ball without the color on it. That's all it is.
Yeah, man. I use when I get basketballs, I use them. You know what I'm saying? They ain't for show. Ain't nothing for show right here.
Hey, you ought to see at the gym, boy. We got like 40 balls. They worn out.
Yeah, and I shoot the ball. It ain't just for the show.
Okay, let them know, Kenny. Let them know I got one too.
At Wilson.
Mars, where your ball at?
There's like 2 in this room, but
ball is like Mars. Mars
room dirty as hell. You can't find it.
Mars being the ends hooping.
One's there and one's over there. I'm just not going to get.
Mars being the ends hooping, dog. He be lying us talking about he don't leave his house. He be in the ends getting busy. That's what he do.
All right, Dante and Nadia. Shout out to Dante and Nadia. Sent through a members chat. This is what they had to say. SGA at number 1, Wemby at number 2, Pascal at number 3.
No, he's saying SJ at the 1, Wemby at the 2.
It's the lineup. It's the lineup for that team.
Yeah,
Pascal at the 3, Giannis at the 4, and Joker at the 5. Sheesh.
Wemby at the 2, his natural position. Yeah.
So Wemby gonna start over Donovan Mitchell? No, Donovan Mitchell has to start. He's all-star starter. But I mean, I guess that is a lineup you could run, I suppose. All right. Lego Rovers became a YouTube member. Shout out to Lego. Be True 23 became a YouTube member as well. And my dog Marquivian Black sent through a members chat and said, salute to the panel. We definitely in the building. Hello, Mars.
Mars, you gonna say hi? There we go.
All right. Appreciate you, Marquivian. Also, Pro Yale became a YouTube member. Shout out to Pro Yale. And we got another members chat from not a members chat. We got 10 gifted Players Choice memberships from the top dog Cheese. Once again,
Cheese be rocking.
Yeah, Cheese. He wanted in. He wanted one.
That cheese.
All right, Fint Jones sent through a super chat and said the association saw the league steal Christmas and said, "Hold my beer." The NFL is gonna get their chicken the same way as always. Come Sunday, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Swiper was yapping saying it's the biggest sporting event in the world.
You think it's the World Cup? You think it's the World Cup, Mars?
Well, the World Cup absolutely clears, and the Champions League.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
That's way more views in the Super Bowl. But I let Swiper have his moment of like.
Yeah, he definitely wrong.
Mars, you gotta let those football guys just have it sometimes.
They go Swiper, pull him back up.
Swiper, stand up for yourself.
He was
fight for your rights.
Hey,
wait, he was serious about. He was serious about it being the greatest sporting event in the world. He was serious about that.
No way. Soccer is universal, bro.
Yeah,
they literally soccer.
I didn't say anything when he said it, but now he's not here. Like we can all just.
He is here. Swiper, defend yourself. Put your fist up.
Ron, just read the super chats, man.
All right. I'm trying to give my man Swiper a fair fight. You throwing jabs when he's not up here? That's crazy. But anyhow, Average Joe said, "Is replacing the actual All-Star game? Is this replacing the actual All-Star game? Because if that's the case, what's the point of being an All-Star starter? I'm a bit confused.
I don't know.
I am too.
Yeah, same.
Like they literally had the draft last night, and Karl Anthony Towns, an All-Star starter, and Donovan Mitchell, an All-Star starter, were drafted 20 and 21.
Yeah,
no, 21 and 22.
They have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea.
Telling you, let the fans vote for all 12 spots.
Yeah, I agree with that. We don't got time to get into it, but shout out to All-Stars, I suppose. Culture Bandit said, not gonna lie, Warriors fans are strange creatures. When KD says no to the Warriors, they got back to slandering him like they weren't just begging for him to join.
KD's the whole reason they're viewed as a dynasty. And you'd think they'd be grateful, but I guess not.
Ungrateful bastards.
Taser Man 17 said JT is closer to 10 than to 1. He's cool. Terrible selection, chill. You say by year 5, we know what you are, right? What is JT? D Mitch, D Book, not generational.
That's what that's what I tried to say earlier, dude. We're in like year 8. Like, come on, you kind of are what you are. Like you can blame coaching, you can blame system all you want. That does factor in. I'm not gonna say it doesn't, but come on, man. You're 8 years into this. You kind of are who you are. You kind of take the shots you like to take. It's not like all of a sudden you're just gonna find the shot in year 10. No, you kind of like taking the shots you like to take.
Yeah, I think
20 shots a game.
Guys are pointed in Jason Tatum because I think he can be better than he is, and I think he probably just is as good as he is, and you guys just were wrong in your expectations. Yeah. I think that's where I'm at. I'm just not as high on the upside as you guys seem to believe exists that I just don't see. But
my thing on Tatum has always been, if you hold him to that tier 1 MVP level, best player in the world standard, you watch him and you probably think he has another gear or leaves a little to desired. But once you finally understand Tatum's tier 2, he's really good and he's a top 10 player, but he's not special, then you're like, oh, this is just who he is. And then you don't really start poking holes in Tatum's game. You just like accept that's who he is. Instead of like wanting him to be someone he's not.
I don't get how you can say Tatum's top 5.
I can see how you
say some years I was like, oh, he's a couple years old.
You just got to say Embiid doesn't count because he's hurt, and then you just say Jokic, Giannis, SGA, Luka, and Tatum. It's not that hard to say he's top 5. I don't know if I'd agree. I just think you could get him in the top 5. Now, when you start saying he's better than, if you say he's better than Giannis or SGA, I disagree. Like, I'll just disagree. But I think you can get him at 5 in the top 5 quite easily.
I told y'all this for the full calendar year 2024. Now it's hitting y'all like a ton of bricks. That boy ain't top 5.
But you had him at what? You had him like 13. So I mean, I guess.
Yeah, that's a little too low. He's still 7th in points.
I ran the poll earlier. I did top 3, I did top 5, I did top 10, and I did top 15. Ironically, he received more top 15 votes than top 5 votes.
But he got majority was top 10. So what does it mean?
They're not 12 better basketball players today than Jason Tatum.
No, I mean, if I take injuries off the table and you let me have Kawhi and Embiid, I might be able to get
Kawhi in 2025.
I might be able to get.
I'm taking Tatum over Kawhi in 2025.
I'm taking Kawhi over.
Not only that, turn up injuries.
You can't just say take injuries away. This is who Kawhi is now.
No. For the sake of
I can get Kawhi fully healthy. This is just who Kawhi is. He's an injured player.
Take injuries off the table. Fully dialed in LeBron.
Fully dialed in LeBron. For the rest of his career.
Everyone at their best.
Never gonna happen again.
Everyone just at their best. You can make an argument that Tatum,
including Derek White and Drew Holiday. You seen what Steve Kerr did? He knows basketball more than anybody up here. MP13 said, "Chill. Being on a bad team doesn't make you blind to passes he should be making, airball, open threes, and missed assignments on defense. He's just bad." He's talking about Kyle Kuzma.
Yeah, I think Chill just be yapping about Kuzma, but I'm not here to have a Kuzma debate. So.
I listened yesterday and I almost threw up when we were talking about how Kyle Kuzma is gonna be so good for the Bucks and all this stuff. I even listened on Gil and them thing, and I'm like, bro, I'm about to throw up on what y'all think Kyle Kuzma is. Kyle Kuzma is trash, like trash, bro, like garbage. I don't get that. I don't get how he's better than Middleton. He's not better than Middleton. He's trash.
Chill's argument about like the bad team thing made no sense because, dude, Kuzma was 19 a game on a really bad Wizards team with no expectations, and he was like a coveted trade piece. Like, oh, who's gonna get Kuzma? But now the team is still bad, and now he's bad as well. It's not like the team made him bad. He's just having a bad season. He's just a worse season.
And they're also like, he's like, oh, they're making Kuzma ISO. Like, no, they're not. Like, they're just not. Like,
he's just been playing the same way
like,
he's been.
I just think Kuzma's bad.
He's played the same way his whole life. He's played like that in college.
I just think Kuzma's bad. But maybe he does start hooping for the Bucks, and then Chill will be like, I told you so. And I'll be like,
no. He's just not hitting the same shots he hit 2 years ago in Washington. That's why he's not having a good season. And it's like,
haters gonna hate. Ballers gonna ball.
23 last year, though. So shout out to Kuzma.
Hey, sometimes you just need a new makeup artist to make you look better.
Yeah, but the makeup can still get rubbed off, and then you cooked.
Oh well.
Not if you have the proper setter on.
If that makeup get rubbed off. Woo. But anyways, Average Joe said, well, Chill might not have gave the best Tatum take or the best Kuzma take, but what he does have, according to Average Joe, he said, I want to shout out OG Chill for having the best hairline on the panel. He's not on that Bron either. You got to respect it.
For sure, you got to respect it. I'm here with the Jalen Suggs, and I'm looking at Chill like, damn, like, how the hell you... Hey, man.
I've regressed a little bit myself.
It is what it is. It's just tough out here, man. But shout out to Chill for sure.
Bent Jones said Christian is finishing at the rim in transition in traffic. What does that have to do with Jokic? Cools his cheeks.
Yeah, I do think Kuzma sucks, but he is good in transition, but he gets out in transition in Washington. So it's not like they're not using him in transition. Like, so that's why I just disagreed. He was acting like the Wizards just making him do things he's bad at and not the things he's good at. He's in transition 4 times as much as he's in isolation. He isos 1 time a game. Like, they're not making him isolate. Like, he never does it. What he does is just do some dumb shit. But
yeah, the whole the team's bad, he's bad argument. I just don't buy into it because I saw Bradley Beal go 30 a game on a bad Wizards team. I just don't buy into it. You're just either making shots or you're not. You can check out, I guess, if the team's bad, but I don't think Kuzma's that good to begin with.
I think the truth's in the middle. Like, I agree with Casual that I don't think Kuzma's that good to begin with, but I also think being on a bad team can make you look worse than you actually are. I think it's both.
But I think as someone who's watched too many Wizards games, I don't think it's the Wizards making him look bad. Like,
oh no, I'm not. I'm saying like,
like you can look worse on a bad team, and that's why I don't look at like the numbers that people are putting up on bad teams because that's all situational, depending on what they're running for you and stuff. But if you just watch Kuzma play, I'm just talking about Kuzma. If you watch Kuzma play, you aren't about to blame the Wizards for why he's doing the stuff he's doing.
Oh
like,
no.
Like Denny Avdija was on the Wizards last year, and I was singing his praises. Because he was playing good basketball
Jordan Poole's
on a trash team,
doing his thing.
So like, it's not about just being on a bad team. Like, I can understand being on a bad team can leave you unmotivated to play good basketball. That's cool. But what I can't just dismiss is the fact that Kuzma's just doing bad things
He just doing really bad things.
Yeah. Like I can't just be like, oh, well, he's
shooting horrible. He's shooting horrible. The style of play. First of all, I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. Like people just blame it on a bad team. He's played like that everywhere. Like and even in college, even with the Lakers, it's just been covered up because they don't allow him to do it the whole game. That's the only thing. But he did the
on the
exact
Wizards
same
for
thing
like 3 years too. It's not like no, he was hooping for the Wizards too at once. He's just not hitting shots, bro. Like why can't players just like not hit shots?
And the best thing about Kyle Kuzma is he's a hustle player. He gets the rebound. He's wild. He does stuff like that too. But to trade, I don't get the Bucks trading him. I don't get trading.
It was a durability thing.
Hey, when Kuzma come out, I have 28 on his debut.
They traded for Kuzma because they want Middleton there, but it's like, God, how many times am I going in the playoffs and this guy's ankle's like giving out? I might.
He wasn't hurt last year.
Yeah, he wasn't. When he gets to the playoffs, he hasn't been hurt. It's just it's rolling the dice with him.
Like for most of these seasons, some playoff runs he's not there.
Yeah,
we're injury prone. Our whole team is liable to injuries. Let's just get somebody. I'm not saying I agree.
Why get rid of Middleton? Middleton ain't the problem.
Man, y'all gonna see Kuzma, Bobby Porter minutes is gonna clear. Just wait and watch.
Man, that's what I told.
Oh, and also Jordan.
Get out of here, so can we get to these super chats, please?
Never mind. My bad.
Kareem MYK 2001 said Tatum needs a Maurice Cheeks type of player to get him the ball in much better spots. JB and Derek aren't good enough passers to get him the ball.
Oh my God, bro. If you are a top 10 player, I genuinely don't want to hear, I need this guy to get me the ball in better shot. Get yourself your shot, bro. You are a top 10 player. I don't want to hear like, if you are a perimeter player, a forward with the handle, the shot, get your bucket, bro. Why do you need like this guy to get your shots? You're not
even further than that, casual. Because like I see what
you're not a post player.
But it's even further than what you're saying, casual. It's even a step further than that. Not only is that, but it's not hard. Like you don't have to be an exceptional passer to get the guy the ball.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like what are we talking about? Bro? Just a simple chest pass right here. I'm open. Play basketball.
Exactly.
Like, we make basketball seem so hard, bro.
The Celtics do miss Jason Tatum for some easy bunnies. Like he'll cut through it, he'll be wide open, and they won't hit him. So like there are some times where I'm like, a better pass will probably get some layup right.
And that's what I mean. Things like that, Mars, when you're cutting in, even in the open court or just certain situations when plays break down. Okay, I see what you mean. Why you would need a facilitator, one of them type of guys. But just in the regular flow of the game, regular offensive flow, you do not need to be Magic Johnson, Rajon Rondo, Jason Kidd, Steve Nash type player. Like you don't need that, bro. Just pass him the ball.
Paul Pierce did not need Rondo, bro. Like he can just get his bucket.
Facts.
He did not need Rondo. Now a better passer playmaker will benefit any player, no matter who I'm not saying it wouldn't benefit him, but I'm saying is he is a perimeter player. He's a forward who likes to play on the perimeter, who can handle the ball himself, who has a jumper. You do not need a Mo Cheeks. You do not need a Steve Nash. How about you put the ball on the floor and get your own damn bucket? If you really like that, then it shouldn't be a problem.
And to that Celtics team, since we were talking about them, Rajon Rondo more so helped out getting Ray Allen, timely shots, putting the ball right in his hands so he can catch and shoot it when there's people closing out. Finding that little spin-off lob you used to throw to Kevin Garnett, those type of things. Getting Kendrick Perkins a couple little touches per game. Rajon Rondo was there for that. Those like Paul Pierce, like to your point, I don't need you, little bro. Just give me the ball. Like, I don't need.
If you're a top 10 player on the perimeter, just give me the ball.
Be careful. Swiper gonna come back and be like, nah. Paul Pierce was nothing without Rondo. You know why? Because Carmelo Anthony can do it just.
Swiper, you agree?
Respect Carmelo Anthony. Nah. Hey, Carmelo
Swiper look like Carl Anthony Towns right here. But anyways, let's get back to the super chats. Box score watching Wayne said, "Can we talk about how power forward Bam been hooping?"
I haven't
watched
the Heat game in a minute. Last Heat game I watched was when they played the Spurs.
That dynamic with Ware and Bam is pretty good. I like Wiggins in that too.
It looks good every time I've seen it, but like I said, I haven't watched the Heat game in like a week or two. So
it is in Mars. I know what you just said, Mars.
And I know Wiggins though.
And I know Mars, we're 20 minutes over. I know, and I'm not trying to derail anything, but I have to just point this out. Ron, did you just call Swiper the bald bodega?
It's big bodega.
All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and get up out of here because that was wild. We are not
what's up,
Yo, it took us 3 hours and 22 minutes to get to the best moment of the show. Wow. No, I got a couple more super chats. I'm going to read them off, but
wow, Ron.
apologies, Swiper, but I had to point out the obvious. Mavs, AD, Clay, Kyrie said, is it crazy to think that Max Christie has Mikal Bridges potential? He was guarding Tatum and KP, has the crazy wingspan to guard bigger players. I was impressed.
I don't think he'd be Mikal, but I think Max Christie's really good. I mean, if it took him getting traded for people to realize that, then let's just shout out to him.
He was hooping recently for the Lakers.
Yeah, I don't know about Mikal though, but
he's not the same build as Mikal, I'd say. Mikal's a little longer. That's also what gives him his value. But shout out to
Mikal
Christie.
got a way better mid-range game and stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah, I would trust Mikal to get a better shot than Christie. But I like Christie, man. It hurt me that they had to get rid of him because I really started to see his development come along these last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do the trade if I had to give up Max Christie. I feel like he's probably more valuable than like Luka Doncic and stuff.
I mean, I'm still doing the trade. Obviously, it's hurt because I'm like, he was a good 3-and-D player for the Lakers coming along. And they need
he looked very good last night.
He looked
very
good in his
good.
first game too.
Yeah. Marcus FRM 626 says, shout out to Ant for becoming the youngest player in history to reach up 1K points or 1K threes and the fastest by a whole year.
I don't understand why Swiper was trying to disagree with me last time I was on that Steph was having a better season than Ant. Ant's having objectively a better season.
Oh, objectively. Ooh, that's a strong word. But shout out to Ant.
Swiper, would you like to fight back yet again?
I mean, the numbers don't objectively prove.
Going once, so going twice.
Shout out to Ant, though. Having a great year.
Be True 23 said Jaren Jackson playing through all of that turmoil and injuries has really helped him blossom this year. He's been fun to watch.
He's been amazing.
Small forward Jaren Jackson Jr.
I think he's the best player on the Grizzlies, so he's been amazing.
This year he has for sure been.
Small forward Jaren Jackson Jr. took a step.
Khalil 2025 said, hypothetically, if OKC and KD entertain a reunion, would all the fans and media get behind him? And would you want to see that redemption story?
No,
of course they would.
I would love to see KD on OKC, but no, they wouldn't.
I think they would. All that cupcake stuff, OKC would embrace him with open arms.
As soon as if OKC goes back, if Kevin Durant goes back to OKC, the first thing in First Take, what's the first segment? It's now that OKC has this player in SGA, now Kevin Durant's going to come back to OKC. It's going to be stuff like that.
No, I mean it doesn't matter. It's like LeBron going back to Cleveland. That's what it's going to be.
No, but now SGA is the best player on the team.
That's fine. I don't think KD has a problem with that.
No, but what I'm saying, it's the optics.
KD get around enough talent. He's looking like the best player in the world. But I guess.
Why'd you leave? LeBron
he left to go win a championship. He won a championship. It's not like he left and didn't win a championship. He left and won two. So
but LeBron came back and was the guy. When
LeBron left and won two championships too.
Bro, when you think about it, it's like he couldn't win as the best player in OKC. And now he's going to come back to OKC after leaving, winning a couple of champions to Golden State. He's going to leave all that, come back to now SGA is the best player. Oh, now you want to come because you think you can win a championship now?
Yeah, but they also haven't won either, though. It's not like the Thunder has won a championship. They ain't won, so they need KD too.
But no, it's like now you feel like you can win now. It's like, okay.
It's different.
Player. Okay.
Yeah, it's different than when LeBron did it because LeBron was coming to a team that was like trash. Like even though Kyrie was a good-looking prospect and good-looking young player, but the Cavs were trash.
They make the playoffs for KD.
Yeah, versus KD coming to the top number one seed.
They also got Kevin Love that same season because LeBron came back. So they wasn't. It's not like he played on the trash team.
Yeah, it wasn't the same team.
They got J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert. He didn't play on the trash team.
It was a different team. It was a different team.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like it's different. But this will be Kevin Durant, especially if they did this at the trade deadline. Kevin Durant going to the number one seed OKC versus what happened with LeBron. That's just a different situation optics wise.
It's all optics, bro.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. In the meantime, KD, Rotten Phoenix. Classic sent through a super chat and said if Tatum played like a 2018 James Harden, he would easily be the best player in the game. He just has to stay aggressive. That's hard with KP.
Yeah, see, I feel like you guys just set yourself up for disappointment with Tatum. Like, if you think Jason Tatum has the ability to be the best player in the world, I think you guys just set him up to not meet your own expectations. And then you either get mad at him for not meeting your expectations, or you come up with these weird circumstances as to why he's not meeting your expectations, instead of just saying you're wrong. Like, there's nothing wrong with being wrong. Like, he's not going to be better than Jokic if he's more aggressive. Like, he's just not.
Last thing I'll say about Tatum, because I feel like I said a lot. If 2018 Harden was on the Celtics, he is going to win MVP. Some people, I do think the system is in part of what Tatum is doing, but it's like, it's also just Tatum. Like, you're using
what Boston is doing, like, plays right into James Harden.
Yeah, that
like
would be insane.
That'd be insane.
Y'all know how tight I'd be right now.
Yeah, but JT just not the Harden type of player though. He just not like like that. I think he's really good. He's great, but he just don't play like that. You know what I'm saying? And plus, I don't think he has the ability to hit those type of threes though. The threes that James Harden was hitting, a lot of them were contested. Those step backs, those were hard shots, bro. Like, there was nothing easy about that. I don't know if Jason got, but he don't got that in his repertoire.
He's trying to, but he's not hitting them. He just can't. He's trying to.
Right. But on top of that, he's a much better defender than that version of James Harden. You know what I'm saying? I think he got more. I think in Mars, I know you don't like JT in the mid range, but I'm positive he got more. Not necessarily shooting there, but catching the ball and working in the mid range. I think he has a lot more as far as that goes too. But he's not as good as 2018 James Harden. That's just not him.
He might not be
as good as
2005 James Harden.
But relax, please.
Riddell said, is it possible after seeing Tatum on in two different systems before this, Mazzulla realized that the current system is best for him?
Best for the team. I think it's the best system for the team. I just don't know if it's the best system for Tatum. Best system. For
I
Tatum,
think if they get their ass beat in the second round, I think people are gonna talk a lot of shit about that system.
I mean, people were talking a lot last year before they won. Like, it's just like, it comes down to confirmation bias. They were waiting for Boston to lose so they could say that Boston system could never win. Then Boston won, and it's gonna be like, well, they didn't have a real run. This year, if they have a real run, they're gonna lose. And then if they lose, be like, oh, see, I told you that you can't win.
You describe it, Mars. You describe it.
It all comes down to confirmation bias and people not admitting they were wrong. So they're gonna wait till they are right, and they'll be like, "Well, see, this is why they won." They lucky.
You only argue, Mars. You only argue the long game. Why would I argue the short game? You only argue the long game. But I won the Luka Doncic thing. I just want to say that.
And if Boston win again this year, they still won't admit they were wrong. They're gonna say Boston adjusted and had a new style of play.
Mars,
they're gonna start bringing up Porzingis post ups and be like, "See, they had a counter." Like, that's what they're gonna do.
I'm just gonna let you know. It's the long argument. That's why I want to Luka Doncic.
Should have a counter. You know his counter? It's called Jason Tatum. He should be their counter. He should be, and he did on Wednesday. When all else fails, you're the best player. Go get some buckets. He should be the counter. He should be the counter. It's not like, oh no, it's Tatum should be the counter.
All right, y'all. Zaire B said, what team do you all feel Cam Johnson could have gone to, and why do you think Brooklyn wasn't more eager to move him on this deadline?
Because they lazy.
Well, I know Mars wanted him to go to OKC, right, Mars? Mm-hmm. I personally think Cam Johnson would have. I was thinking Cleveland was the main team for Cam Johnson.
Yo, I'm gonna be honest. Like, you can go look at the top 6 seeds from each conference. Cam Johnson would have made every team better. Like, Cam Johnson is a guy that could have any contender better. Sure. Any contender.
So Cam Johnson,
if he was available, I would have loved it.
So what if it would have been Cam Johnson instead of Kuz? Y'all be much higher on that move.
What?
A million times.
Oh my God, million times higher. Kuzma is one.
If the Bucks got Cam Johnson for Chris Middleton, the same exact trade, I would have called them winners of the deadline. Not the winners, but like they would have been in the winners.
Oh yes.
Like, that's an amazing trade. But
Kyle Kuzma played like Juan Toscano Anderson. He just got more shot opportunity.
That's crazy.
Just saying.
Zomar Skeet Nielsen said Casual is a victim of confirmation bias on AD. Number one.
Yeah, and AD is number one.
If he can, then prove me wrong. I think Andy Davis is a really good player. I just always saw him as like a 2. Not saying he can't produce. I just always saw him as a 2.
Thanks for sending that super chat through, Skeet. Hope Never Stop said Houston should get Ben off the buyout market.
I want to.
Disagree. I don't want to.
If the playoffs ended today, they'll play the Lakers, and I would love the Ben Simmons minutes if I'm the Lakers. Oh my God.
You're going to sweep us regardless.
I just love non-shooters on the floor.
But the headline would be Ben Simmons looking. They're gonna find every low light of Ben Simmons and make that the reason why we lost. So go ahead.
Yeah, take the blame.
See now, if Jason Tatum getting his bag, well, I just seen Sasha Vezenkov just hit right there. That's all JT need to do. Come off that baseline, open up, and bow, put it on you.
He ain't Vezenkov.
Vezenkov
he got to get that.
Vezenkov is a god in Europe, boy. Vezenkov is a god in Europe, boy.
They're playing Barca right now. I'm tapped in.
Philip Redford said 3 seed.
How you be watching the game?
Jokic, 3 seed. Jokic winning without Russ and Murray. MVP.
If they catch Memphis, because they're not going to get close to OKC. So OKC's got the 1 seed, and if OKC have the 1 seed by enough games, I probably think Shea's still going to win MVP. But if Denver are the 2 seeds and Jokic is still doing what he's doing, I do think that makes it like a lot closer than it probably is today, just based on seeding and stuff.
SGA just keep making it hard because he just keeps.
Because SGA is having an all-time great season.
Oh my God, SGA is falling. But Duke Diddy said, "Bring back our Sonics."
Yeah, that's my cue to leave, man. Shout out to Shot. That's my cue. Yeah.
All right. Tito El Bandito said 100% NBA made them draft these teams specifically.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Emperor Beast Kato said, "So jack of all trades to the highest degree." Talking about
Tatum.
Jason Tatum, yeah. FIFA or FA, whichever one it is. FA said, "Do you guys did you guys see the Denver trade? MPJ was fin hot."
What was that?
They made a trade.
Denver didn't make a trade.
I don't think they made a trade.
I think they were putting together something maybe to try to get KD.
That would mean like MPJ and Aaron Gordon and
so yeah, I think he was saying that MPJ was finna be hot, like he was gonna be upset about it.
Okay. Hope Never Stop said Dallas could use Ben also.
Nah, I think they're cool.
Emperor Beast Kato said Swiper sounds so heartbroken. Ball Bodega, you heartbroken?
Dallas' downfall is just going to be offense if it comes down to it. I don't think Ben Simmons is just going to add to that. It's going to be scoring and shooting.
Antoine El Host Ron said Rockets might fall to the play-in. Damn. One Havoc 27 said thoughts on Ben Simmons on the Cavs from buyout market.
No, because Cavs need offense from their bench, like scoring. He just doesn't provide enough scoring. He just doesn't. Some of these teams need scoring, and Ben Simmons is not going to.
What about like dribble handoffs with their 2 guards, Spider and Garland? You don't like that?
No, they need scoring. He just can't score. Like their bench unit. They need scoring from their bench, and Ben Simmons is not going to provide them scoring.
All right, Antoine El Host Ron said Wizards traded Kuzma. That's the biggest win. Y'all have been dragging Kuzma through the mud all episode for 3.5 straight hours. But don't worry. Y'all go see. Ray Starr said Anthony Edwards coming for that first team All-NBA. Potentially.
Oh, it's positionless now, so I don't know.
Yeah, potentially.
Because first team right now take the...
It'll be Giannis, SGA, and Jokic are locked.
Yeah, and then what? Well,
I'd assume they throw Tatum in there. I'd assume.
Yeah, Tatum, Cat.
Yeah, he's gonna be fighting with Cat Brunson. Who's he gonna be fighting with? Yeah, I think Cat Brunson.
No, not Mitchell. Not Mitchell.
Cat Brunson. Yeah, I think those are just the guys he's gonna be fighting with. Yeah.
All right, couple more super chats. Hoops Never Stop said OKC isn't ready to win multiple series yet.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
I don't know, yeah. I don't know.
Yes, they are.
I'm just not sure. It's one of the things I just can't call. You gotta see it. Gotta see it happen.
I can't call nothing right now. I think anybody can get popped by anybody right now. Well, at least those top teams.
it's kind of like what you were saying a second ago, Casual. As far as what team did you say? Mavericks and their scoring. I think obviously SGA can fill it up, but if they do slow him down, you're gonna need Lou Dort to consistently hit shots. No, maybe not. Not when I say consistently, I don't mean every game.
Well, that's how they lost last year. That's how they lost last year.
Lou Dort's gonna have to have a couple games where he fills it up. Alex Caruso is gonna have a couple games where he fills it up. And when I say fill it up, I don't mean go for 30. I mean hit 3 or 4 big threes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Maybe each of them have 16. J-Dub can only afford to have one bad game per series.
Getting outscored by
things like that
last year. It was like, oh my God.
Right.
That's their downfall. That's their downfall. SGA is gonna have it. Their downfall is like, oh my God, Isaiah Joe, Andrew Wiggins, Lou Dort win like 0 for a billion from 3. Oh my God. Right. That's gonna be their downfall.
And that's the thing. Well, okay, see, unless they get a tough first round matchup, let's say somehow the Lakers end up with the 8 seed or something like that, or Dallas or something like that. That's the only way I could see them going out early. So I wouldn't, OKC's one of the teams where if they get a tough first round matchup, I could see them go out, and I wouldn't be surprised, and I wouldn't hold that against them also. But I could also see them going to the finals, Western Conference Finals. Nothing in the playoffs would surprise me with Dallas, unless it was just like they get smacked by an inferior team in the first round. I don't see that happening.
All right, y'all. Last but not least, MP13 said Bradley Beal sucks. Why do people overrate him?
I don't think anyone does that anymore.
I don't think anyone overrates him. When they were overrating him, it was like 5 years ago when he was like 27 to 31 points per game in Washington and they weren't winning squat. That's when people were overrating him because they weren't watching Bradley Beal every day. And they're like, oh, Bradley Beal, he's put up a lot of points. Bradley Beal's also he keeps getting hurt. I think Bradley Beal's not that bad of a player. It's just when you put his expectations relative to his contract and no trade clause, then you're like, oh my God. But in a vacuum, he's not that bad.
You're spitting right there, but you're spitting. I'm upset. Obviously, I want to see all people get money. I want to see all people eat. You know what I'm saying? But I do wish Bradley Beal wouldn't have got paid so much.
He's not that bad. Like when you watch him,
he's not. It's not even that he's not that bad at all. Bradley Beal is still a good basketball player, and he was once really, really good. He was once great. Bradley Beal was amazing. But when they gave him all that money and the no trade clause, it just hurt. It just hurt his value. And so once again, I'm happy he's feeding his family, happy he got generational wealth. But I do wish he would have got a little less money so he can keep hyping Bradley Beal.
All right, Charles.
I think the money's not even the problem. It's the trade clause. It's the trade clause.
The trade clause is crazy. How did he even get that? He got a W agent. Never worked that out for him.
All right, y'all. It's been a hell of an episode. It's been a hell of a Friday. It's going to be an even better Friday when we jump on Playback later tonight. Casual, it's been real.
Yes, sir.
Kenny, appreciate you for coming up for Hall of Fame Friday. Big Ox, fuck off. And we'll see you guys later on Playback. Hey, Big Ox.
Cheerio.
I got some picks to make.
Yeah, for sure. Cheerio, you going to let him talk to me like that, Cheerio?
You or her? Choose, Cheerio. We out. I'm just playing Cheerio.